Yeah, we can do Breakout now. I'm fine with that. Or Kay's cooking. I kind of want to watch one episode of Breaking the Magician's Code, though. I think one Breaking the Magician's Code, and then we can go to Breakout. Because I remember the show being really fun. Andrew and I watched it pretty recently, like 2 years ago. It's so goofy.
Around the globe don't want you to see. The masked magician is back, out of hiding, daring to expose the world's most highly guarded secrets.
Oh, I love the Masked Magician.
How they perform amazing appearances.
Little did they know the Masked Magician is actually Billy the Exterminator.
Baffling levitations. Astounding vanishes.
What do you mean, get more clarity on the good end? I mean, I watched it.
And impossible illusions.
I watched all the
magician
endings.
Is too famous. No trick too big. No secret too sacred.
Oh, wait, are you asking if the ending was better for the good ending? I watched it on stream. It was about the same.
The WWE Divas.
Killer Bean 2 The Party is literally just the first scene of Killer Bean Forever, but pre-rendered. So like the alpha. It's not a sequel. Thanks for the resub, Jake.
Hey Charlie. Just tasted a test and got back from a date. Glad I get to finish the night with my favorite elite
WWE
game.
Divas make a
Thought I'd
dramatic
spread
appearance
love.
when the
Congrats,
magician
man.
transforms their pictures
And
into
no
the
muffin,
incredible
no
first ladies
explanation.
of wrestling. Plus, the masked magician pulls back the curtain and exposes the secrets to walking through a giant wall of steel, being
Easy.
sliced in half by a deadly buzzsaw,
And
turning
winning a
Bentley
car.
into a Lamborghini,
Whoa!
making a soda can float through the air.
Well, that's super underwhelming
vanishing
following a...
simple toothpick.
But why are these
Entire
children's
string
tricks
quartets.
here? You just turned a Bentley into a
And making
Lamborghini and then you
gorgeous
show me how to
woman
make a soda can
disappear
twirl?
right before your very eyes. All that and more right now on Magic's biggest secrets finally revealed.
I appreciate it, Muffin, but yeah, there's no explanation for why the ending is as lackluster as it is.
To start things off tonight, the magician is going to face the razor-sharp surgical steel teeth of this industrial buzzsaw.
Ooh. This has bested many a man.
As he is soon to find out, the saw blade is real, and the teeth are incredibly sharp. Ouch.
I'm not convinced. Slice a ham or
The
something with
magician
it.
sets the blade in motion and commands it to rise to the top
And then
of the
throw a
tower.
watermelon. Thanks to the Prime Thong and the Resub Panther.
Remember the old saying, what goes up must come down? So for safety's sake, the blade stops before the girls walk underneath.
Thank you, ladies. This is the coffin of Houdini.
The assistants have wheeled a large coffin-like box beneath the blade. Let's hope this doesn't become the magician's final resting place.
Wouldn't that be quite the season opener to just have
It
the
is
masked
raised,
magician
he
get
steps
sliced
inside,
in half for
taking
real?
a moment to get himself comfortable.
That'd be pretty
In this
fucking
very
wild.
Uncomfortable situation. This is probably a good time to remind you not to attempt this. The magician may be giving away
That'd
the
be a big
secrets,
trick. Yeah, you're not
but he's
wrong.
a trained professional.
You're not wrong,
The
Spar.
front of the box lowered, we can see that he's held in place by a wide steel band and handcuffs.
I guess we'll have to wait for the sequel, Muffin, because I really
He's
don't
not
understand
going
it all that
anywhere.
well.
From the time the blade begins its descent, our magician has only 30 seconds to escape.
But
First,
the
he's
magician
got to
has
contend
already
with the
traded
handcuffs.
places with a death row
Shouldn't be
inmate
too tricky.
who will now be executed.
Only 20 seconds
I don't remember
left.
that at all, Muffin. Thanks
This
for the
isn't
resub,
going well.
Da.
The assistants are under strict orders not to stop the blade. But will they obey?
It seems like they don't really
Blade
give a
is
fuck,
now
yeah.
just inches away. Will he escape in time? Nope.
Oh god, no! Masked Magician, no!
Well, this is a first. and we've still got an hour's worth of tricks to expose.
Man, this narrator
Too bad he didn't
sucks.
save this trick for his big finish.
He sounds like me when I
Could've killed
first
two
wake
birds
up.
with one stone. Or
Oh
one
no,
giant blade.
he's been killed.
Looks like the masked man is
But we
finally
still have an
visible.
hour to go, and I'm
But
under
I think we should
contract.
see some proof that he's really cut in half. On cue, the girls separate the box. So long, magician. It was nice knowing you.
That's the whole trick?
The danger in this illusion is about as authentic as it gets. Complete with a very real, very sharp industrial saw. And the handcuffs? Well, they're real too. You can see that there is no way to escape this death trap, not within 30 seconds.
Yes, there
And
is.
that's really the magician strapped to the table. So is the magician really being sliced in half by the razor-sharp teeth of the giant saw?
I don't think so.
No. He
The
still
magician
has
has
more
already
secrets
left
to
the set by
expose,
this point.
starting with this one. The first secret, of course, is in the box the girls wheel onto the stage.
There's another
When you
copy
see him
of the
get in
magician inside of the
and
box.
supposedly lie down, he's actually slipping his legs down into a secret compartment.
Oh, you liar.
The table legs are hollow and large enough to fit a person, or half of one.
So there's two people.
As you can see from the back, there is plenty of room to slide his legs inside the compartment with the help of some handy steps, like the rungs of a ladder.
Oh, that's cute.
His upper body remains visible on the table. So what about the other side? We saw his whole body on the table.
Well, that was actually
The legs
just a
look
dummy.
real.
Animatronic.
The secret here is that a body double has climbed into the box before the illusion began. His legs stay on the table, while the rest of his body hangs upside down in another secret compartment.
That sucks. I'd hate to have that job. Like being the ass on
double's
the
legs are
horse
the ones we
costume
see
for
secured
Halloween.
by the stalks. The magician is in the front half, the double is in the back, and that steel band will cover the gap. With the body double in place before the illusion begins, the audience has no
You know
idea
what sucks?
they're about to be duped.
That's clever. Like, super clever. But
But how
it's
did two
boring.
men make
It
the illusion
sucks.
of one body so convincing?
Like, come on, this is a boring trick.
When the steel bands are lifted away,
What a
we can see
shame.
the space between them. When the bands are in place, they cover the gap. The audience has no idea they aren't looking at the magician. But that is a real saw blade, and it is the magician's shirt being torn from his body. There is real danger here.
Yeah, if he scoots a little
So to
too
ensure
far
the
back.
magician's safety, there is a gap between the two halves of the table, allowing room for the saw as it is lowered. Wooden partitions on each side protect the men from harm. But when the two sides of the table are pulled apart, it looks as though the magician has been sliced.
You probably
in two.
understand the story better than most people,
Now,
Muffin. And no,
you
I'm not a
know
huge
how
fan
it's
of that,
done.
Taylor. Tune in next stream where I saw myself in half.
Here's a simple
I will
trick
not
with an
reveal the
ordinary
secret,
wooden
though.
toothpick that will make you the life of the party. The magician displays the toothpick to show
Thank
that it
you,
hasn't
Muffin.
been tampered with.
I know how to do this trick. And then he
holds
flicks it
in
back.
plain view and makes a few magical waves with his hand.
Chris Angel taught me this one. It's on the back of his thumb. It was taped.
Vanished without so much as a hint of sawdust.
You liar, fucking loser.
Where'd it go?
I know how you did that.
So how did the magician make the toothpick vanish? The secret is simple and
Thanks to the
very
resub
deceptive.
music.
It all comes down to this tiny square of tape. The tape and the toothpick are all you'll need to pull this off and amaze your friends. The magician places the toothpick
Yeah, if
on
you're
a
8
piece of
years
tape
old.
and
I used to do
bends
this in
the
middle
tape
school.
around it, but not all the way. The tape attaches to the back of his thumb. Without the glove, it would go right on the thumbnail. Notice that the toothpick points backward when his thumb is extended. This is the key to the trick.
Man, when I was like
The
11,
magician carefully removes the
that
pick,
was the coolest
leaving the
fucking
tape
trick
on his
ever.
thumb. The slight bend in the tape forms a sticky pocket for the toothpick. To make it vanish, all he does is open
Thanks
his
to the
hand,
resub
and
cloud,
the toothpick is
cloud
hidden from
dispenser,
view,
and the resub greed.
stuck to the back side of his thumb. Here we see the magician place the toothpick into the pocket in the tape. This action
Well,
is
something
normally
I would do if
concealed
I
by the
actually
fingers of
had
his right
magical
hand.
powers is I would do all of these tricks, but do them for real. So I'd set it up the same way, but then I'd actually make the toothpick just fucking
Now,
vanish, and I'd
just
blow
slowly
everyone
open his
away.
hand so you can see
They
through
wouldn't
the
believe
lip
me,
of
and I
the
could
pick.
totally keep it a secret like it's a
There
trick,
it
but
is,
it'd be real
stuck
magic.
along the backside of his thumb,
That'd be like
From
some
the
real
front,
meta shit that only
you can't
God
see a
and I
thing.
would laugh about.
vanishing a toothpick. It's a trick you can nail every time.
Up next, the secret to the classic cut and restored rope.
I'd try to explain it all, but too much work, so
And
here's
find
the
out
rest
where a
of my
beautiful
extra
girl really
goodies also.
goes
Aw.
when she disappears
Don't want to seem
without a
too
trace.
annoying about it.
I appreciate it, Muffin.
And
Thanks for the
later,
generosity,
a
man.
Bentley turns into a Lamborghini.
Can you turn a Jetta into a Lamborghini, or does it
Make
only work with a
surprise
Bentley?
appearance.
Asking for a
Plus,
friend.
The magician shows you how to walk through a great wall of steel. When magic's biggest secrets finally revealed, returns.
I also, when I was a kid, I liked this intro a lot because it sounds like the intro to
Here the
Yu-Gi-Oh!
magician has one
for
of
about
magic's
3
most
seconds.
popular impromptu tricks. All he needs to baffle his audience this time is a length of rope, which he proves to be strong and unprepared, and some scissors. They'll make
It's
their
totally
appearance
fine,
in a
Justin.
minute.
You don't have to apologize for
He
anything.
gathers the rope to find the exact center, then makes a loop and holds it in his hand.
The rope has
Time
now
for the
been
scissors.
replaced by a body
I
double.
told you they were part of this trick. Using the scissors, the magician cuts through the center of the rope. Eventually, there's no camera trick involved. That's definitely a cut piece of rope.
Disagreed.
He twists the cut ends, gives them a wave, and magically the rope is back in one piece. The tricky masked man has done it again.
I think I know how he did it.
So
I'm
how did the
unfamiliar with
magician
this
cut the
trick,
rope in two right before our
but he
eyes,
holds that
and then
little
restore
piece in
it
his
to one
palm the whole
solid
time
piece?
and he slides it down. That's
The
my
simple
guess.
answer is, he didn't really cut the rope at all. Here are the secrets. Concealed in the magician's hand at the start of the trick is
Called
a
it.
small piece of identical rope.
Fucking called it. What's
gathered
up?
Into a loop. This is the rope that gets cut by
Oh,
the
yeah,
scissors.
sorry.
The magician is careful never to let this piece of rope be seen by the audience. When he places
Yeah,
the
it's pretty-
long rope in his hand,
pretty
he
cute.
pulls the short loop up and above his fingertips. From this angle, you can see him pull his sleight of hand. The long rope is held by his thumb, while the short loop is visible above the top of his
This
hand.
is where one man commits the cardinal sin of
He takes the scissors
revealing how
and
magic
cuts
tricks are
straight through
performed.
the short loop.
Imbued with the
When he
power of
separates the
Satan
pieces,
and
it appears
capitalism,
the long rope has been
he
sliced
breaks
in
the
two.
laws for the sake of money.
Pretty sneaky, if you ask me. All that's left to do is twist the short, cut pieces out of the way and tuck them into his fist.
If I remember
carefully
correctly,
conceals
though,
them as he
and someone can
slides the
correct me if
long
I'm
rope
wrong, if we
through.
have any like really
No
aspiring
one bothers to
magicians
look
in
at
here.
his closed fist.
This show created a lot of controversy in the magic community, and the
that's how it
magicians were
creates the
genuinely
illusion
upset with
of
this.
restoring a rope.
And the magician who
magic.
did this was kind of like a 2-bit guy. His name was like Al Pacino. Well, it definitely wasn't
And
Al
now,
Pacino, but it was
the
like
magician
Val
will
something.
Perform another classic illusion, one of the most famous in all of magic. He displays an ornate chair that's perched atop a platform.
You gonna try to perform some of
He
these?
walks around the
I
chair
know
to make
some of
sure we
these.
get a good look at
Are you
it.
gonna perform them?
Yeah, maybe.
Go get some rope.
I'll go get a giant
The magician then
industrial
calls
saw.
in one of his beautiful assistants so we can get a good look at her.
No.
No.
I'd probably
This
use
guy's got
like,
it made.
I don't know, someone with nothing to lose, so in case I fuck it up, it's not
Ever
that
the
big of a
gentleman,
deal.
he helps her step up onto the platform where she takes her position in the chair, just like a beauty queen
Means
on her
you can
throne.
hold a panel and you can do a magic trick.
Two more assistants
Yeah, I'll
and
have
a
my own
large
magic
sheet.
show.
I think we've seen enough of the magician to know that something magical happens when he gets his girls under the sheets.
Ooh, that's an
The assistants
innuendo.
raise the sheet for a moment.
And then all of a sudden, it's 6 Playboy models, and the magician is sporting a full erection. But how did he do it?
There's the girl still in the chair. He can't resist seeing her one last time. I don't blame him. The sheet goes back up, and the assistants cover the girl.
They've been transformed into 9 strong dudes.
There she is, still in the chair. A magical wave, some lightning. She's gone.
She's gone.
Vanished in an instant,
Sacrificed.
leaving behind the lone masked man and his fancy chair.
Sent to heaven early. God damn,
Maybe
Muffin.
he should
Thanks for
sit
the
down and
generosity.
rethink this trick.
Thanks for the 5 gift subs.
So how does our masked magician make his lovely lady disappear? Don't worry, she doesn't go far.
She was never really there.
The sequence. As always, the magic moments happen beneath the sheets. And a lot of things are going on
Thanks for the
simultaneously.
resub, Lolly.
First, there's a hidden breakaway seat built into the bottom of the chair.
Oh.
When the curtain is raised for the first time, the girl in the chair releases the seat, allowing her to slide her lovely legs into a trap door hidden in the platform.
And
From
then what?
above, we see how she releases the seat and
Thanks,
steps
Buff.
into the trap. When the
Thanks for the
assistants
prime
lower
meat.
the sheet, it appears as though the girl is still sitting in the chair. The next time the curtain is raised, it covers the chair completely. But that's not the girl.
Thanks for the prime ghost.
Notice the black section in the center of the chair? It conceals the next secret.
Oh, it's a mirror.
This black headpiece. When flipped in this position,
What?
it takes the place of the girl's head.
Isn't that what Charles Xavier uses to read Mutant's mind from a
Well,
distance?
because they want to
It flips
pretend like
up
the
the
girl's
false
still there,
head
so you have
as
to
the
see her
girl
head.
slips down into the
I
platform
get its
and
purpose.
disappears from view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here it is from above. The head form drops into place and is covered by the sheet. To the audience, it looks like the girl is still seated in the chair. She
Thanks for the
seemed to
resub.
vanish. Where did
Important.
she go? The
She's laying
staircase
down.
looks too thin for the girl to fit inside. But upon closer inspection, we see the staircase is actually thicker than it first appears.
But still really thin.
The girl disappears into the platform, and from the back, we can see that it is actually hollow, allowing plenty of room for the girl to
Ah, yes. Plenty of room,
With
they
her legs
say.
in one side, the girl is able to arch
How
her
comfy.
back and squeeze into the other half.
It's enough room for them to hide.
She reaches
for
up
the trick.
and raises the seat bottom back into position.
Stay there
With
for
plenty of room to spare,
And now
too.
our assistant is completely concealed within the platform.
What a great gig for minimum
When the
wage.
magician pulls back the sheet, the motion causes the false head piece to drop back behind the center of the chair where it started, and the girl is gone, leaving the magician
sister
plenty of
have it?
time to think about what he's done.
Next, the secrets of turning
Oh.
one luxury car into another. With the
But
help
what
of
about
two
turning a Jetta
WWE
into that
divas
Lamborghini? Is it possible, Masked
And
Magician?
making an ordinary dime
Have
Have you
penetrate
seen
a
those
solid
Russian
sheet of rubber.
slappy boys slap a watermelon?
And coming
Vasily? Yeah, that was a
up,
huge
great
video.
wall of steel is no match for the masked magician. Find out how he walks through it with ease, and how he makes an orchestra disappear. When
Watch the
music's
Masked
biggest
Magician
secret
execute a mariachi band live on TV.
returns.
God, I love this fucking show.
Hold on.
Yeah, have fun.
I just need to show you
The magician will now attempt a
Matching
classic
speaker
bit
to
of
his voice.
close-up magic using
I'll
a
keep
shot
learning.
glass, a dime, and a small sheet of rubber.
Watch out.
The dime is balanced on top of the rubber sheet, and the magician is stretching the ends of it over the shot glass. He points to the dime, which, in masked magician terms,
Yeah.
means watch this. A magical wave, and he begins to gently rub the dime with his finger until it's gone. But where? He lifts the piece of rubber.
Thanks to the Prime Crash and the
There it
resub
is,
whiskey.
in the
I'm gonna
bottom
take a
of the
guess.
shot glass.
There's 2 dimes, obviously. The first one is held by him when he has it
genuine
tight,
dime that can
and when he
magically
rubs it, it
pass
goes into like a
through
little
solid
compartment. Or it just is the
How
same
does the
color.
masked magician make the dime penetrate the rubber sheet?
Quick guess.
It looks impossible, but there's a secret.
I
The
didn't
piece
know
of
that.
rubber is a special high-tension polymer, the kind used by dentists that's made to stretch a long way without breaking. It can be pulled so tightly around the dime that it becomes see-through and gives the illusion that the dime is resting on top of it. In fact,
That's pretty
the dime
cute.
is really on the opposite side. This side with the dime is the one that goes over the glass. when the magician stretches the sheet
I'll just have to raid
around
my
the
local
glass.
dentist office for
Point
I
that.
can
appears to
make
be
dimes
sitting on
disappear
top
by
of the
clapping them with my ass
Actually,
cheeks.
It's merely stuck to the bottom.
Yeah, I can make all of your parents' dimes
You
disappear.
can see that the tapping
I just need
releases
their
it
credit
from the
card
rubber
number.
sheet and sends it into the glass. A simple trick when you know the secret. We know that world-famous magicians have used their tricks to impress supermodels and beautiful Hollywood starlets the same
Yes.
way some guys use flashy cars to impress women.
Women love
who are
magic
out of
tricks.
their league. Tonight, the masked magician will use both. Here he shows off a
And
late
still
model
not get
Bentley.
laid.
I say a Bentley because I'm not sure that it's really his. Then again, sexy models usually stop short of examining the registration.
Well,
Aside
now
from
that's
the price
just a
tag, there's
very
nothing
rude thing to
extraordinary
say.
about this car. Now for some girls, a parade of assistants. But the women he wants to impress tonight are WWE divas Eve
They're
and
not
Maria.
here. He holds up a
I guess
picture
they
of
are.
2 Twitch streamers that he likes. This is for you girls, I'm gonna make you appear in my car.
The magician is going to attempt to
Just
turn
fucking
these
sucks him
photos
out of the
divas
streams right now.
into the real thing. It's no secret that the real girls would be much more impressive than their pictures. So it's time for magic.
Oh, here it comes.
As usual, there's a large sheet involved. The magician always seems to have an extra king-size sheet lying around just in case. He's prepared for anything.
The car has already been
The
transformed
assistants cover
into a
up the
pickup
Bentley.
truck.
The magician
on
steps
fire.
forward and tells us to keep an eye on the super luxury vehicle.
But what you don't see is the Bentley is escaping down a trap door and hiding underneath the
The girls
stage.
raise the sheet for a moment.
Thanks for the Prime Wiser.
And now they're lowering it back over the car. Something's different. Let's get a better look. The Bentley has magically
What?
turned into a Lamborghini full of fun, complete with WWE divas Eve and Maria.
Excellent work, Masked Magician.
Now
You've done it
that's
again.
what I call an impressive trick.
I'm going to try that
Are we
too.
going to
Masked man.
continue the
Why can't
Prison
they all be
Breakout
this
series
spectacular?
tonight?
Holy
Or did
moly.
I miss?
We were gonna
So-
continue it. What?
How does the magician take an ordinary
What?
$200,000 Bentley,
What?
a couple of sexy photos, put them
Not
together
yet.
and magically transform them into a Lamborghini overflowing with WWE divas?
Well, the trick is actually
The
quite
secret
simple.
is
He
simple
paid them.
and starts with the fact that this trick can only be performed for a television audience.
No! Are you telling me if I drop
Begins.
2
The magician
WWE
shows off the
supermodel
expensive
pictures into a
Bentley for the
Jetta,
camera.
I can't make them
We see
appear?
this side of the vehicle, but notice that the magician doesn't invite the camera to walk around with him. That's another secret. The key to the trick is that the Lamborghini is parked in place the whole time, with its gorgeous passengers already inside. Before the trick began, a stagehand backed the Bentley into place.
Cool
Notice
trick.
how much larger it is than the Lamborghini? The Lamborghini was chosen for its sex appeal, but also because it is much smaller than the Bentley and more easily concealed when the two are parked side by side.
I disagree. We've
When
watched
the
it,
magician
Red. I think
appears to
Live
be
PD is
walking
still
around the
better.
car, he casually indicates that there's nothing on the other side.
And I believed him.
But from
I was
this
a fool.
we can see that
As
he's
a
merely
member of
waving
the
his arms and
Femoid
acting
community,
like
it
there's
is
nothing
easy to
more
make
see behind the
Lambos
car.
appear via the ultimate method
With both
of
cars in
leg
place,
spreading.
Oh,
how did
you're
the
not wrong.
magician make the Bentley disappear? The secret is hidden inside the Bentley. Sitting behind the wheel is a stagehand. Say hi, Mom.
No!
The stunning wrestling star,
Legendary
Eve and
magician,
Maria,
super normal
waiting
guy?
inside the Lamborghini. So the whole routine with
Magic
their photos
car
is nothing
driver.
more than a flashy way to convince us that perhaps they'll be appearing inside the Bentley.
That stagehand has the most dangerous
On cue,
job of
the
the night.
assistants cover the
Just
Bentley
getting
with a
fucking
large
razor
sheet.
sharp
At this
WWE
moment,
pictures dropped on him.
off-camera stagehands turn on a couple of powerful fans to fill the sheet with air.
And the car drives
This
away.
is when the magician carefully stands to the left side of the frame, blocking our view of what's really happening.
Yep.
While he blocks
That's
the
easy.
left edge of the sheet, the Bentley is simply driven away. As soon as
Genius.
it's gone, the camera and the magician move towards the car, which creates an optical illusion as the girls move the sheet further back to cover the Lamborghini. From this angle, you can see how far they have to walk.
No, I could see that
Turns
initially
off the
too.
fans, and the girls lower the sheet down onto the Lamborghini. On his command, they remove the sheet.
Man,
and
my
reveal
friends
the
and family are
divas
gonna be so
in their
impressed when I do this one for
outfits.
them.
The
But only if they
transformation
stand in the
is
most
complete.
specific location I can find. So they can't see me drive away.
I know I've been transformed into a diva.
And I'll need 9 divas
Especially
and
now
6 homeless men
that
to
I know the
perform this trick,
secrets.
but god damn it, it'll be worth it just for that shock and awe on their face.
Next, a trick you can do at home. The magician shows
Thanks
you
for
how
the
to
Prime
make a
Random White
can
Kid.
float through the air. And watch as a string quartet makes beautiful music together, even after they disappear. Plus, find out how a superstar walks through a
In
great
those
wall of
crates are
steel.
Amazon workers being transported to
When
the next
magic's
warehouse
biggest
for them to be
secrets finally
abused.
revealed,
And the magician
return.
is just a cog in the machine. The secret is revealed tonight.
For this next trick, the magician will use this ordinary soda can.
I'm excited.
He holds the can gently between the fingertips of both hands.
Oh,
He blows on the can.
hold on. Oh, it's impossible!
It begins to rise.
No!
Must be highly
Science said it
carbonated
couldn't be
soda.
done.
He snatches it before it goes too high.
Kata. Kata.
Now it's trying to escape again. If he's not
Was in a
careful,
meme
it'll
mood
fly
and
where
had
it
extra
goes.
money to blow on nothing, so figured
Cute.
I would share my
Looks
own
like he's got it under control.
magic tricks.
Thank you,
Who knew
Muffin,
that soda
and
could
thanks
be
for the
lighter
gift
than air?
sub, Punk. The Prime Kellic.
How did the magician make the soda can
That
float?
one's cute.
This secret isn't too hard to put your finger on. From the back, you can see that the can is actually
Yeah, it looks good.
attached to his right thumb by a flesh-colored plastic shell that magicians call a thumb tip.
Can't even looks better than the
When
one
his
from
thumb is
yesterday.
inside
Yeah,
this
it looks
tip, it's
better.
virtually
You
invisible.
don't think it looks too big now?
No.
At the end of the thumb tip is a clear rubber suction cup. This cup sticks to the can.
I remember when I was
and
a
the
kid, I
magician
used to
is
go
ready
to these
create
magic
the
shops
illusion
that
the
had
can
shit
is
like this.
floating. From
I
this
had one of
angle,
those. I probably still
you can
have
see
it
that all
somewhere.
he's doing is lifting the can with his thumb.
So if you see me start a stream by
His fingers
making a soda
outstretched,
can
all the
float for
magician has
money,
to do is
know
use
that
a
I'm very
little bit of
desperate.
pantomime to make it look like the can is floating away from him. Who knew that the secret to floating soda was all in the thumb?
Did
The
I stick
magician
it up my
shows off his
pee-pee?
latest contraption, an elevated stage that is set for a musical and magical performance. He invites a string quartet to enter and take their positions on the stage.
Welcome, gentlemen, to the world's most lonely
They climb the
concert.
stairs and find their seats, just as the girls come in to help out with the trick.
There's the resub coin.
Black ties and a bow. How formal.
Thank you,
I guess
boys.
it comes free with the tuxedos. Hit it, boys.
I said something very similar, narrator.
Now there's a level of sophistication we haven't seen before, and won't for long. A curtain is going up.
And the
And
Lord has
back
now
down.
claimed 4 more souls today.
Where did they go? We can still hear the music, but the quartet has vanished.
This is so fucking stupid.
The magician gestures.
Man, if
for
I
the
paid
curtain
for
to
a
go
show
back
where a
up.
magician did this, I would get up in anger and spit.
And when it comes down, they're back. Still playing.
That's impossible!
Still classing up the joint.
We saw them vanish.
Ah, so soothing. The masked magician.
What you don't know is
pulled
the
off
masked
another
magician
one.
has collapsed the multiverse on top of itself, taking us from a
Okay.
reality where they're
So
playing
what
to one
really
where they're not,
happened when the
and then
magician
back to where they're
allegedly
playing.
Made the orchestra disappear. They're in on the secret, so why shouldn't we let you in on it too? The quartet takes their seats and begins to play as the curtain rises. That's when the secret takes place. The orchestra platform is built on a rotating axle. Behind the stage is
It's
a gang
so
of burly
elaborate.
stagehands. As soon as the
Another
curtain is up,
impressive thing I
they
can
use
do
all their
is
weight
tie a
to push
cherry
down
stem
the
with
steel
my
rod
trash
that is
chute
welded
instead of
to
my
the back of the stage.
mouth, if you catch my drift.
This
Oh, I feel ya,
rotates the
Muffin.
entire platform one
Ah, what a
quarter
trick.
turn.
I can't wait to perform
Quartet
this one at my
are now
lunch,
resting
my
on
middle
their
school
backs.
lunch tables.
When the curtain lowers, you're looking at a duplicate set of chairs. Here's the move again from above.
No, I think I understood it, but yes, thank you. This is a good angle. It's like a Wes Anderson film.
The stairs and the black cloth on the front of the stage conceal the duplicate set of chairs beneath the platform.
Thanks, Taste.
Here's the switch again from the front, without the drape hiding the magic.
They're making it seem like it's hard to
really
understand, but I get it. I really do understand.
When the curtain is raised a second time, the stagehands get another workout. The men push the musicians back in place just in time for the curtain to lower and reveal them. And that's the secret of how to make a quartet disappear.
It was that simple all along, eh?
Next, the magician exposes
I'm going
the
to
highly guarded
David Copperfield and
secrets to
demanding a
walking
refund.
through a world-famous Great Wall. Plus, a trick used by popular street magicians won't fool you anymore.
I love that their little,
the
do-it-yourself
magic's
magic
secrets
kit for
finally
9-year-olds in between their
revealed.
elaborate Bentley to Lamborghini scams. Or tricks, whatever. It's so fucking adorable. And now, clicking this link will give you free V-Bucks, magically.
Here's a trick that
We
street
just need your
magicians
parents'
use to
credit card
convince their
information.
audience they have freakish powers. A bent bottle cap and an empty bottle are all it takes. The magician taps the cap on the bottom of the bottle to prove it's solid. But watch.
Oh
With
no.
the cap resting on his fingers, he continues to tap until it's inside the bottle. The metal cap has penetrated the glass without breaking it.
He's holding
Seems
his right
pretty
hand in a
freaky.
very odd fashion. There's something odd with his right
Maybe
hand.
he has magic powers after all. So, does the magician have special powers? Or is this just another one of
Well,
his
yes.
tricks? I think you know the answer.
Damn it.
The first secret is in the ring he is wearing. It's magnetic and powerful enough to attract the metal cap. The second secret is the bottle cap, or the fact that he has two bottle caps.
No!
When the illusion begins,
This motherfucker.
one cap is inside the bottle, held in place by the magnetic ring. The outer cap is tossed up from his hand and caught by
Sadly,
the
back
ring,
when I
while
tried
the
my
cap
tricks to
inside
my
is
third
released.
grade talent show, I
It
did not
appears
get
that
the
it is
same
passed through the glass.
reactions as
But
I
we're
did
really
here.
seeing the cap
Nobody
that was
does.
inside all along.
I used to do magic. At school. It was
He
cool.
won't fool us again with this trick, because we know the secret.
I dare a street magician to try and do this in front of me for money. I will slap that
The
fucking bottle
magician
out of
will
his
now
hand and
attempt
break
to
the
make
ring
his
over my
body
knee.
pass through a solid object.
Trying to get the
In
best
this
of me.
case,
You're no
this
fucking wizard,
giant
now I
wall
know.
Made of two
I'm
heavy-duty
armed with
shipping
knowledge.
containers. Sometimes magicians walk through brick walls, landmarks, or even the eighth great wonder of the world. But we're not in China. So in the warehouse,
All
these
right.
5,000-pound steel containers will be just as great. The goal will be to walk through the solid steel wall by magic.
I have a sneaking suspicion on how this one is
The
most
magician
likely
climbs
done.
up onto a raised platform
But I will
to
hold
get a
it.
better look at the containers.
And
They're
now
not made
we
of
see
mortar
the
and stone
magician
like a
toggle
wall in
collision.
China, but steel is just as
They
imposing.
just fucking slash no clips it.
The magician sizes up his opponent and raps on the side to prove that this is a solid wall of steel. Getting through is going to pose quite a challenge. He climbs back down, allowing his assistants to lower some shades that are attached to the metal frame. on
Why
the
is she
platform.
holding his finger? He was totally capable of walking down those stairs himself.
These white curtains will protect the secret of his trick from prying eyes. But don't worry, he's bound to show you the secret sooner or later.
I can't wait, I'm fucking
The shade
salivating.
All they
back
ever
has a
did
hole
was
that will
either
allow a
scream
beam
in
of
horror
light
or
to
tell
shine
me to
onto
put
the
my
shade in
pants
front.
back on.
Although the magician doesn't want you to see everything
I like
yet,
that. That's
he
solid.
will allow the audience to see his shadow
Thanks,
behind the
Muffin.
shade. There is an identical setup on the opposite side of the container.
Don't predict it, punk. You don't know what
We'll
he's
see that in
capable
just a
of.
minute. It's been said that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, creator of Sherlock Holmes, believed the great Houdini could dematerialize and pass through solid objects.
Well, then the creator
Let's
of
see if the
Sherlock
magician
Holmes
can
is a
make
fucking
believers
idiot.
out of us. Now that the assistants are done with their preparations, the magician prepares to take his place behind the shade. This is the last time we'll see him until he emerges on the other side. If he can.
Remember
God.
that card
He's gonna
trick
get
you
stuck.
taught us?
There we see a
I used
silhouette
it
on the
on a
shade.
volleyball player I liked. You know what happened next?
Sex offenders registry. Yeah, I feel that, Bryce.
He concentrates and then pushes his hand into the side of the solid steel containers.
No.
Now his other hand
What? Max Magician, no!
and his entire body.
Oh, it's just like an Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Is it possible that he's mastered Houdini's secret of dematerialization?
No, he's mastered Flash's
appears
secret
as
of
though he's
vibrating really fast.
But the doubters in our audience would probably like a little more proof. So, there you go. No shades, no magician. He's either vanished or traveling through the steel, particle by particle.
That's probably what it
The
is.
challenge now will be
That's
to
what I was
someone
thinking.
on the other
Tracker.
side.
It's a wild Canadian show.
I just
The
don't
camera
like
is
Man
following his
Tracker,
path
man.
through the stacked
Thank you to
containers.
Prime Cat and Adrian.
Remember, the containers were examined and no trap doors were found. On the other side, his assistants are placing a white fabric panel over a section of the metal.
Oh God, no. That's not his hand. It's a
It
ghost.
appears as though the magician is poking his hands through the fabric,
He's not though.
desperately trying to escape from the steel.
But the secret is there's a very small man in the box
Back from the
that's
grave.
just pushing on it.
This is getting creepy. Better let him out of there. The panel is removed, but there's no sign of the magician. Even creepier. A shade is placed on the front of the platform, again to protect the secret of his rematerialization.
Yeah, God forbid that gets out.
Will he make it through the wall of steel?
I certainly hope
If
so.
he can't,
I'm on the edge of my
someone better
goddamn
have
seat
an
here.
Industrial-sized can opener. Another sheet will complete the cube.
I wonder if I could think of like some overly
As we
complicated
can see,
magic trick.
there are no shadows
Like if I had
inside.
infinite
No
resources and
sign
could
of
pay
a
for like
magician.
stupid hydraulic tech that they use in some of this shit, I wonder what I could come up with.
The assistants have finished their work, and it's time for the magician to make his reappearance.
It probably wouldn't be very impressive. It probably would be just making a fleshlight
Come on,
vanish,
masked
but in a
man,
really
Houdini did
complicated
it.
way.
So can you. There he is. Slowly
No!
passing through the solid steel.
He's coming home!
I'm not sure about you, but I always knew he could do it.
I never doubted him for a second.
I've read the script. The shades are removed. And there's the magician. Back from his trip through a great wall of steel.
What a trip it was, I bet.
What's the shocking secret behind walking through the Great Wall? If you were fooled by the trick, you won't believe your eyes when you find out how it's done. When magic's biggest
I don't know if I can
secrets
handle
finally
this reveal.
revealed,
This might be
return.
too much for my little reptile brain.
We just
The
saw
secret is
masked
we used
magician
9
take on
masked
these giant
magicians.
shipping containers.
And we really did break him down particle by particle and assemble him on the other side.
He passed right through the solid steel container on one side, traveled through this great wall, and out the other side.
The secret is in the lights. That was my guess as well, but you never know with the masked magician.
But was his journey as dramatic as it looked? You know, there has to be an explanation. Here are the secrets. When the magician is showing us that the containers are real, he's not lying. They're genuine and solid steel.
Nice. I knew it.
Therefore, he couldn't really pass through them as his shadow suggests. What you don't know is that a double is hidden beneath a trap door in the platform.
That
As
is
soon as the
even
shade's
more
in
underwhelming
place,
than I
The
thought.
double opens the trap and gets ready for his secret role. We see the magician climb the stairs.
I thought it had more to do with the light.
The beam of light is focused to shine brightly on the shade, but allows a narrow place for the double to hide. When the magician
Alright.
steps into the fabric cube, he takes the double's place and the double steps forward. The switch is seamless, and the shadow appears to be the magician's. Meanwhile,
But then,
he's busy
where's the
slipping through
double
another
go?
trapdoor and down into the stairs he used to climb up onto the platform. While we're looking at the shadow, we don't even notice his escape into the staircase. Once he's inside, he's ready to be wheeled to his final destination on the other side of the wall. Whenever magical assistants are wheeling
It's
stairs
genius!
around, you can be sure someone's hiding inside. On the front of the shade, we see the shadow of the double appear to melt through the steel wall. From above, you can see the double's choreography as he mimes melting into the wall and then simply curls up into a ball where he won't be hit by the light.
This is
But from the
pathetic.
front,
Yikes.
it appears he's passing right through the steel.
Well, it's effective.
He climbs back into his secret
That would
hiding place
mystify a
so that the
4-year-old.
cube is empty when the shades are removed. The audience believes the magician has melted into the steel wall, but
That's
his double
right.
is just hiding in the platform. Meanwhile, the staircase, with the magician hidden inside, has arrived on the other side of the wall. While he's making his way from the staircase into the platform, his
Man, if
assistants
I
are
was a
distracting
successful
us with their
magician
own
and this
sleight
is the kind of shit I had to do,
Remember the cloth panel
I'd be
that held against
embarrassed.
the steel containers? When
Charlie,
you
how
look
did you do that
closely,
trick?
you can see
I
that
curled
only
up into a
one
ball
of each
underneath a
assistant's
set of
arms is
stairs
visible.
made out of plastic and asbestos.
That's because their other arms
Oh, cool.
are hidden behind the panel, with their hands pushing on the fabric. The effect of the hands pushing on the fabric is so startling, the audience doesn't even stop to think it could be the assistant's hands and not the magician's.
The idea never even crossed my
As soon as they
mind!
get the signal that
Ah!
the magician is safely inside the
Magic!
platform,
Mind
they remove
freak!
the panel and attach
Ah!
the shades to the cube. When the shades are up, the magician climbs out of his hiding place and makes his way to a dark corner, carefully avoiding the beam of light. He holds up his arms and walks forward, creating the illusion that he is rematerializing, melting through this side of the steel containers. This is when some serious acting lessons would really pay off.
Yeah.
Wall-to-wall magic.
That will do it. That'll get you every time.
And now you know the secrets.
Now all you need to do is find 2 giant steel containers.
Next week, the masked magician returns.
Next
to
week?
reveal more of magic's biggest secrets.
I can't wait a week. Oh, good lord. He's mastered the art of flight. Jesus, Bruce Nash has done it again. He's created history. I'm assuming this channel has every single episode. What the fuck is this? Van Zwie Namrong? Well, that was kind of right. In a certain way. I'll keep this channel up. And we'll watch some Breakout. Switch it up. This is real life magic.
In prison, I felt
Prison
I only
escapes.
existed instead of lived. I had to escape to reclaim my life.
Vale had the ability to...
Oh, I forgot all about the magic stream, to be honest. One day.
Is a true story. Val was the brains of the operation.
Hells yeah. I'd done 15 years inside. I was ready to shed that life forever.
It's a dramatization of the accounts of convicted rapist and murderer Timothy Vale, the police and prison authorities.
I don't know if I can watch this with the DVDvideosoft.com on it. Is there another upload? Because that's really distracting. Oh, it goes away. Okay, cool.
It starts with the physical.
Alright, we'll start here.
I'm a country boy. And more than anything, I yearned for the woods and the mountains, where I'd always felt free.
I know, Dub. I know, man.
I made every kind of appeal I could, but they were all denied.
$45 minutes? Yeah, I'm fine with it on this show. This show fucking slaps.
I decided to escape.
We watched 3 episodes yesterday. This shit is so good.
I I know Elmira very well. I spent certainly
What's up, Glenn?
probably more time there touring the facility than any other maximum security prison. Elmira has about 1,800 inmates in there.
And every single one of them a convicted
75
magician.
to 80% of them have violent crimes and are doing long sentences for assaults, murder, or rape.
Damn, that's a
Purpose of
hardcore
is to
prison.
isolate that person from society. It
Now
starts
this
with
is the blood
physical barriers
theisity
to prevent
magicians I
escape.
came for.
Yeah.
But you run
He
good
said
correctional
75%
facilities
were
by
murderers and
having
rapists. I feel really bad for the 20% that's just there for having an ounce of weed or
This is my
something.
first time catching one of your streams, but I love your YouTube content.
Appreciate it, boy. Thank you,
Stop
man.
contraband flow from one area to the other. It's a random thing because you can't possibly frisk every inmate. If they're nervous, they're walking funny, that's the ones you're going to choose to search.
What is this? Is this a fake thumb?
It's a sense that
Sir, I was going to use it to make a soda can look like it's floating. Alright, fair enough.
Fail was easygoing, did whatever he was told. He had a good personality where you could talk to him and almost believe that he wasn't an inmate.
Once I decided to escape, I had to work out how. I never doubted myself.
They get to make their own
I have
tattoos
an
in
active
prison?
mind and I'm good with my hands.
I'm a fucking idiot. He made the tattoo gun out of a pin lead and pencil eraser. I see it now.
Mechanic. So I guess that's why I can see.
For some reason, I thought they
Figure
gave
out
him
how
like
it
a real
works.
tattoo gun.
It's just in the blood. And one thing was obvious. Elmira sure didn't have an outer wall or a fence.
God damn you, DVD Video
That
Soft.
seemed like a weakness to me. One day, as I came out of the mess hall, I noticed the louvers of a ventilation shaft on the roof of F block. And suddenly, it hit me. If I could somehow chip through the ceiling of a top floor cell and get into the
This is a
attic,
really quiet episode.
maybe I could get into a ventilation shaft and out onto the roof. From there, I could climb down to freedom on the other side of F block, using some kind of makeshift rope.
Ooh, is he gonna do what John
My
Parsons
cell
did?
was on the ground floor.
Now it's really loud, Jesus
Not
Christ.
long after that,
Ice of the
I met
Prime.
Timothy Morgan in the
McBomber.
yard. He had a double bunk cell on the top floor.
Tim Bill. Tim Morgan. How you doing, brother?
Can you ask for a sleepover in prison?
Morgan was serving a sentence of 25 to life. He was convicted of shooting a taxi cab driver in the face with a shotgun and stealing less than
Wow.
$100 from the man's body.
Turned
Holy
out,
shit.
He was a country boy too.
We hunt for him.
Whatever you can find, man.
We became close, and I felt I could trust him. I decided to.
If there's one man you can trust, it's the guy that shoots a taxi cab driver for $100 bucks.
Talk to you about something really important, right?
He was more the brains of the operation.
You wanna go busting out of here. Are you ready? Hells yeah.
But
Hells
escape was
yeah,
still just
huh?
a dream without the tools I needed to break through a
Let's get an
concrete
epic sauce out of here, bro. What do you say? Fucking dabs. Victory Royale, brher. Let's leave.
Take a look at that.
Who wrote this dialogue?
Artist. You see him as a, Jesus, this guy's got an ability here.
So what do you think about painting some Christmas decorations for the prison?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Have
Paint the
y'all
Christmas
seen the amazing
decorations.
Fuck the
I was
Baby
assigned to the
mode pickup
carpentry shop.
Mizuko from Demon
Prisons
Slayer?
are like the city, and cities
I don't know what the
have
fuck
to
of
be maintained,
that means, but I love
operated
Demon Slayer.
as efficiently as possible.
It was like destiny. All the tools I needed to escape were right there.
Yeah,
Inmates
you
do a
know,
lot of the maintenance work.
hacksaw, hammer.
If we didn't use inmates, we
Sounds about
couldn't
right.
afford to run the prison.
For my plan to work, I had to find a way to stay assigned to the carp shop. I started helping the other inmates. The civilian running the shop, Gary Silvers, saw that I knew what I was doing. Soon, I was like his coworker.
Aww. Gary's gonna be the first one to get fucked.
Now I asked Tim if he was still interested in busting out. He said,
Yeah. Right.
Hells yeah.
You gotta respect yourself, buddy.
Gamer.
I told him to persuade his cellmate to seek reassignment so I could move in.
Self-transfers were done on a daily basis. There was no red flags or alarms raised when this happened.
Really? It's like college roommates? You can just pick and choose? That's pretty wild.
When the transfer was approved, everything was finally in place.
He's gonna eat that poop shooter. This is all business, dude. They're trying to break out. They're not here for rim jobbies.
As soon as we can, brother.
But if it happens naturally,
As soon as we can.
That night, we made an important decision.
So where are we gonna put the hole? Right there.
The corner near the bars was really hard to see from the outside.
damn you, DVD Video Soft.
And hanging up clothes and towels. Nothing is supposed to block a prison officer's view into a cell. But they didn't always pick up on this. We were gonna try and dig through a whole load of concrete and slip away into the night. I had
That's
to make
quite a
sure
bold
Tim
plan.
knew exactly how the plan would work.
Okay.
This is the exact same plan, almost, that the guy in episode 2 used, Mr. Adams.
Carb shop, through the center gate, and into our cell. If we can dig a hole in the ceiling, there's got to be an attic space out there, and I'm sure there's a ventilation system that'll lead to the louvers on the roof. Okay, and then from there we climb down the roof and into the parking lot. Now, if we hide in the shadows, from there all we gotta do is run across the parking lot, and the city is just there. Okay. Right. Okay. Got it. And then, brother, we are free.
I wonder how many prison escapes have been successful, but they're too embarrassed by the method that they never released it publicly. I imagine it's probably a startling amount.
Design, assuming that inmates don't have tools to break your system.
Thanks for the reset, Django.
Every facility has shadow boards. Take a hammer and you have a shadow.
Yesterday, a female streamer showed a picture of her vagina on stream.
Doors,
I call that quality content. Did the subs explode?
The best fences, but they won't do you any good.
I was never going to be able to smuggle out a hammer or a chisel. Then I realized something small and simple might do the job. Carb Shop's 3-inch sheetrock screws. They weren't on the inventory. They had sharp steel tips. And concrete is just cement, sand, and bits of rock. Keep scraping and you'll get through, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right, I guess.
I taped 4 screws to my stomach. And if a guard at center gate decided to pat me down, I had a decoy. A painting of mine I've been framing.
Damn, this guy thought of everything. What the fuck?
But I was smoking like a maniac just to calm me down. Getting caught would raise my security profile sky high. This guy frisked me good and thorough. The escape was over.
Hey guys, how are you, buddy? What you got there? Someone working on? Yeah. Wow.
Someone found a version that doesn't have a watermark?
Yeah. Good job.
Okay, let me find it. I'm not gonna click the link. I'm assuming it'll just pop up here. I'm assuming it's this. No, it's season 2. Alright, fuck it. I'll click the link. I trust you, Hydra. It's much louder.
We have to counter.
Was racing.
Alright, buddy.
There we go.
Head on in.
What's fine?
Alright, you guys are easy, huh?
Good find.
You too.
Using my painting as a decoy, it worked.
Vale had the ability to manipulate staff in order to get what he needed into his cell.
What I got here, buddy?
Jackpot.
When I pulled out the screws,
condoms.
Tim seen I really meant to go all the way.
Use these to get the guy out of here. Sweet.
But hiding contraband in a 6x10 cell ain't easy. And we ran the risk every day of having it searched.
Ooh.
To get back to those woods that I loved as a kid, everything would be a test of will wits, and courage.
We want DVD soft. Yeah, the real hero.
Less than 24 hours later, I started chipping at the ceiling. Tim was on guard.
They're always monitoring where the officer's at, and they use mirrors. That's what we call the radar. We have to counter their ability to know what we're doing. So
isn't that
we
kind of
try
a
not to
red
do the
flag
same
if you
routine
see them holding a
over and
mirror
over,
out
you
there that
break
they're
it up.
trying to escape? Thanks for the resub, French fry.
I'll tell you. In the beginning, I thought, damn, this is gonna take some time. Imagine trying to dig through concrete with nothing but your hands and some metal screws.
Seems easy to me.
It was
If you're
hard as
strong. Thanks for the prime prone.
I hid the first scratches with a sheet of black paper from all the art stuff I was allowed in the cell. That merged with the ceiling real good.
What do you think? I don't know if we're gonna be able to do this. At least not without better tools.
Have you guys ever seen Baki the
Found a
Grappler?
handle off a wood planing machine in the carpentry shop that wasn't in
Why
use
can't they
no
just
more.
be more like Oliver?
It would be perfect.
They
as
can
a
do
hammer
anything
for
they
the
want in
screws.
prison, including leave. Just get stronger, you fucking idiots.
Mercy Vale.
Tim got a special pass to visit the carp shop.
Says shop, eh?
Yeah.
This time, he carried the contraband. I never doubted him at this point. The trust was just there.
Have
But I
sex with
wouldn't
a
know if Tim
waifu
got
for
through
muscle
Center Gate
nirvana.
until I made it back
Yeah.
to the cell.
That was a good bonding experience between us, Meadow. Just watching some good old anime waifu fucking.
Did you get it? It's in your locker.
Huge.
Morgan was able to get around easily because he was trusted. He was very quiet, kept to himself, and stayed out of trouble.
This is gonna work much better.
We stuck layers of tape to the planer handle to mask the tapping noise of the metal on metal.
Wow.
Now we started making some progress. But only when the noise levels got loud enough to cover the tink-tink-tink sound from the chipping.
This is pretty elaborate. So far, every
were
escape
times
has
when we
been
were
pretty
working our
elaborate, except
asses
for the
off
one
and
where they
seemed to
just
get
beat the
nowhere.
guards and left.
But when we filled a styrofoam cup with concrete chips, then we would say we had a good night and draw a smiley face on the calendar. The waste went down the toilet, or we just toss it in the garbage can in the morning. We were under constant pressure. Back in our cell, we had the working of a hole in the ceiling and all sorts of contraband that would get us years in solitary alone. The work was backbreaking. But by the fourth week, we'd made real progress.
Holy shit. How do you cover that up with tape?
Then something happened, which I was dreading.
What's wrong? We got a problem. What? I just hit rebar.
I'd worked in construction before prison, and I knew we might run into steel rebar supporting the ceiling. It was a real...
Can you go
battle.
around it?
And we need to cut through that.
Oh.
I knew only one place I could get a blade that might do the job. There was an old bandsaw in the carp shop. The whole thing was due to be thrown out.
What are the odds of that?
Nobody would notice a few pieces of missing blade. And there was a way to get them past the metal detector at Center Gate. Our tobacco packs had a metal foil lining.
That seems like a huge
They were
oversight.
searched by hand, then passed around the side to stop triggering the alarm.
You man? Where, Tim? Good, you?
But if the pack looked unopened, the guards were unlikely to check inside.
New pouch? Yeah, I just traded it for some peanuts. Next one.
One thing I learned in prison is that people might look real hard, but not see something if it's right under their nose.
That's a good lesson. I too have learned that from playing battle royales.
With a toothbrush for a handle, I figured we could get through the rebar with these blades.
Holy shit, this is pretty elaborate.
Even though they were for cutting wood. But they wore out fast. Luckily, we only had to cut one side on each piece of rebar, then bend it back and forth.
How would that not make a loud sound?
It's working. Our morale shot up again. We wrapped the used blades in tape and threw them in the trash. But the rest of our escape tools were still in the cell. Then, our worst nightmare came true.
It turns out we were digging into the
Officers
warden's
started doing
office.
top-to-bottom searches on our gallery.
Doing a random search.
We made sure everything was hidden as best we could. Then just prayed our cell wasn't on the list for inspection. Okay, guys. 2 officers walked in, and we could hardly breathe.
Hey, is that a hole in the ceiling always been there, boys?
Find
Or did you do that?
suspicious. The planer
Oh, it's
head,
been
the
there?
screws,
Okay.
the
That's
paper
fine.
on
I'll
the
just
ceiling.
make a note of it. Sorry for the inconvenience.
They glanced around, ticked their check sheet, and just walked out.
These guys generally are good and cause no problems within the block, so there was no real reason to really concentrate on them.
We felt like we just dodged a bullet. We wouldn't survive another cell search if it was done properly.
Yeah, it sounds
So
about
we had
right.
to finish real soon if we ever wanted to bust out. I
This
decided
prison
we
is
bore a
on
small
easy
hole
mode.
straight through to see how far was left to go. I'll never forget that day. Suddenly, there's no resistance at the end of the screw. Pull it back, and there's a tiny beam of electric light coming through.
Oh! It's Jesus's glory hole.
There must have been some kind of bulb up there.
Isn't that bad news, though? Because that means you're going up into another cell or another room, right? Or at least
Pressure
that's
to
certainly a
bust through the rest of
possibility.
the concrete before another cell search made me want to take one more big risk. There was an old sledgehammer that was off any tool inventory. It was being used as a doorstop. If I could get the sledge back to the cell, we could smack out the rest of the concrete. Trying to get something that big through center gate seemed crazy.
Yeah, it
We
is.
couldn't hide the escape hole much longer.
So he's just throwing stealth right out of the
I
window.
made a spur-of-the-moment decision. I thought I had a chance. Remember, I got on pretty well with the guards, so I wasn't scrutinized too much.
I can't fucking... If this
But I was
gets
sweating it the
through...
whole way. The bag strap was digging into my shoulder because of the weight of the sledgehammer.
The inmate's job is to get around the rules, and our job is to enforce the rules. You have to be on your toes. You have to counter things.
I'm surprised he didn't put it up his butthole like a lot of prison inmates do to hide
Suddenly,
things.
officers come out with a handheld metal
He wasn't very committed to this. He got a butthole keister, that bad boy.
Far. My luck can't hold. I'm going to get caught this time. They checked the guy in front of me, and I was next. It was like a slow-motion nightmare. I couldn't think of any way out.
Then all of a sudden, an EMP device
I
detonates.
saw an officer off to the side who I knew.
How are you?
I walked over and spoke some bull with him,
Any paintings?
Yeah, I'm working on American Eagle spray rings and everything.
till I seen my shot to slip through the gate.
Good. Alright.
Yeah, thanks, man.
That fucking idiot. Hey, he's a good guy. You don't need to... Hey, put that metal detector away. Alright, boys? He's alright. He talks to me about paintings, and I like paintings. Thanks for
When
the
I
reach,
showed up
small
with that
peener.
6-pound sledgehammer, Tim thought I'd taken a crazy risk. But he lightened up big time when I told him how we could use it on the 4th of July. The booming sound of the fireworks in town would hide the hammer blows.
No, it would not. There's a big difference between something exploding
July
a while
4th was only
away
a couple of weeks
and the
away.
sound of a fucking
Before then,
sledgehammer hitting a
there was
ceiling.
another pain in the ass we had to solve. Once we slipped out, we needed to hide that we were gone, at least for a few hours.
Knowing where an inmate is one of the most important functions that we have. There were a number of counts throughout the day, 6:30 in the morning, 10:30 at night, during the night, usually every hour. If the inmate's missing and you don't realize till 6:30 in the morning, they had 8 hours head start on you. Directly around the institution, there's a lot of woods, a lot of tough terrain where an inmate could easily hide out. Worse than that, they could be in somebody's house.
Well, that'd be like the last place you'd want to go because they'd call the police and they'd find you pretty quickly.
My plan was to use my skill as an artist to trick the guards. I was going to make dummies.
I love when they do that. This is going to be the second round of dummies we've seen used for an escape.
Getting hold of some real hair sure wasn't a problem.
What's the... Alright. I ended up being so good at it that I just found a passion for it and I gave up on even trying to escape. I just wanted to make realistic dummies using real human hair. And I couldn't be happier.
The 4th of July arrived. We knew it was going to be a big night.
Thanks for the resub, Quack.
We'd have to work fast.
And the prime giraffe.
As soon as the fireworks started in the town, we got out the sledgehammer.
Yeah, this would not mask this sound. You would absolutely know. The human ear is designed to know, or at least get a read on where sounds are coming from.
Nobody heard a thing.
Bullshit.
We started busting through faster than we had in months.
This can't be a real story. Unless these fireworks are being set off inside of the prison, there's no way this is masking this sound.
All we could do was look up in amazement and think how big the hole looked in that little cell.
It's okay.
I had to find a ventilation duct up there that led to the roof, or my plan was nothing but a load of bull. I put the dummy in my bed. For the body, I stuffed sweatpants and shirts under the blankets.
Thanks for the 500-bit sploogle.
I knew it was going to be a tight squeeze getting through the hole, so I stripped off and smeared myself in Vaseline.
Damn it. Oh, I have to
Tim
send a quick
made one long
text
cable
message.
out of all the extension cords we used for our TV and reading lamps.
Alright, someone fill me in because I was
lined
texting.
the
What was
hole
the point of the
with plastic
Vaseline?
bags to assist in sliding through without
Oh,
my
okay.
skin getting
Never
ripped
mind, I
up.
see it.
Come on, Tim, let's go.
Thanks for the prime, Ian.
Once I got up there and I looked around, I seen the ventilation system leading right to the outside wall. Everything I'd imagined was there. It was one hell of a feeling.
I've never crawled through a
I'd done
ventilation
15
system,
years in prison.
but isn't it
I was ready to shed that
super,
life forever.
like, narrow? That, like, an adult male couldn't
There
fit
are
through,
those
and
that
you
will
probably
say,
couldn't rip it
"But you're a
apart like
convicted
that?
murderer." What about the victim and her family? And I agree. I feel so much remorse for that tragedy. But I had to escape, to reclaim my life. And man, now, for the first time, I could see the exact way out. Tie the sheets to the steel ladder that was there, creep to the edge, and climb down in the shadow of the turret.
bulletproof plan.
After all the blood, sweat, and tears you've shed for 3 months, and the night comes when you're looking at nothing between you and freedom. Can you imagine? Living in total awe.
Well, we know he gets away, otherwise it wouldn't be called Breakout, but this story just doesn't seem real to me.
Chipping through concrete.
The other ones I totally believe. I mean, in the Texas 7 is very well documented, but this... I just can't imagine a security, the security in a prison being this shitty.
Inmates are allowed to have up to 6 sets of sheets. If it's a 2-man cell, then you have a total of 12.
Thanks to the reset space.
We just hoped they'd hold us. Then we waited for the 10:30 count, where we had to stand by our beds. All I thought about them guards as they walked by was there was going to be a surprise in the morning when they try to wake us. I never had any malice for them. I just wanted to slip away into the night.
That doesn't look real at all.
I wanted my life back.
Hey, Johnson.
Nothing more.
Who's supposed to be in this cell? Is it supposed to be a man
Tim handed me
that looks kind of like a mannequin?
Including
I don't
soap
give a fuck.
and a bucket of water to wash
put a
off
check
the
mark and
Vaseline.
leave it. You got it, boss.
Then he placed the second dummy in his bed and came up too.
It's a reenactment. No, I get that. I totally get
We got
that.
into the shaft where I'd
But how
split it
realistic of a dummy can you make out of prison materials, honestly? You're working with, at best, papier-mâché, cereal boxes like we've seen. And then hand-me-down, like, hair from haircuts.
Let's do this. Okay.
I guess I don't know how shitty the security is at jails, then that's fair.
We crawled towards the ladder. The fear of being caught in the process of escaping was messing with my nerves real bad.
Pussy, just jump off. You think they had security guards help them escape, but they don't want to rat the guys out? No.
Love your content.
That would make no sense.
We snuck over to the edge.
Thanks, Chaos.
That's when the reality hit us.
Why the fuck
You
would
fall,
security guards help them escape? They're two inbreds
you die.
that committed murders.
I lowered
It's
the
not like
rope
they have
down.
money to their name or
We
anything.
tied red sheets at the bottom to blend in with the bricks. Up to that point, everything had went just as planned. There was nothing between us and freedom but climbing down. Then Tim says,
I can't do it.
What?
I'm terrified of heights, man.
that's when I knew I had a problem on my hands.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
No fucking way.
Every second of delay was another chance of getting seen, or of the guards discovering the dummies in our beds.
Freedom is just 40 feet away, man. You gotta get it together.
To say I was beginning to get frustrated is an understatement.
Listen, I'm gonna show you how to do it, okay?
So I told him to follow me.
You gotta do this.
He goes that far,
was
he
gonna show
knowing
him how
full
easy
well
it
the
would be.
plan was to spelunk down the building. He gets there and he says, yeah, no, fuck this. Thanks for the resub. London, maybe?
Somehow I got the rope wrapped around my right wrist.
Never stop
couldn't go
making
nowhere.
amazing content, man.
The nerves, frustration,
Appreciate that, Spoon.
adrenaline,
Thanks for the kind words.
everything got to me. Without thinking, I jerked my right hand out of the loop. It seemed like I hanged suspended for a split second. Then I went straight down.
Well, that'll do it.
I don't remember nothing from that point. Till I came back around a few seconds later and I was laying on my back, looking straight up at Morgan, peeking over the edge of the roof. I had to move quick, because half of my body was lit by the beam of a security light. My left side was agony. I said to Tim,
Tim, you gotta come down here. Hurt.
Tim replies,
No way, man. No way, not after seeing what you went through.
No, I'm just gonna hang out on the roof.
believe me,
I'm just gonna live up
that
here.
sure isn't what I wanted to hear. I had to get him down.
They're gonna find the hole.
I told him, if he didn't come down, he ain't never leaving.
You can't leave me like this.
Alright, fine. Wait.
Alright, just stay there. I'm
To
gonna
his
get the
credit,
guards.
He does it.
They'll help.
My fall had changed everything. Before, every dilemma I faced was somehow solved with no glitches.
My shoulder hurts bad. I think my ankle's busted, man.
Now I had only one arm and one good leg, and I needed both legs to get me where I was going.
Tim, it's over. We can't do this.
Well, what's stopping you, Jamie? You can leave.
You're gonna make me a sling. You're gonna wrap my ankle. Out of that sheet there.
I just knew that I had to get some distance between us and the prison before they worked out there were dummies in our beds.
Easy.
Fuck Tim and just fucking run.
Tim shot out right past me.
Or, wrong guy.
But when the weight hit my left leg, it was agony. All I could do was hobble.
Thanks for the prime moose.
I kept thinking, we're gonna hear sirens at any time.
How the fuck did
Pain was messing with my mind. Worse, I still had to do all the thinking. I could see Tim was scared. He kept saying,
Come on, we can do now.
Thanks for the prime.
Over the highway.
Cider.
And into the woods, alright?
Oh, Dixon Cider.
I
I see
told
it
him,
now.
we're gonna cross Route 17 and head up into the mountains. Because when they do morning standing count,
Thanks for the reset, Mayor.
all hell's gonna break loose.
Thanks, Mayor.
We got to Route 17. As I was getting across the last part,
He gets hit
came
by a
around the
truck.
bend, and I just had to jump it. We just hoped the driver hadn't seen us.
Yeah, I'm sure he didn't see that. But then again, what's he gonna do?
I
Like,
was
if
in
you
some
call the
serious
police, hey,
pain,
I saw two guys in the
especially my
forest and
shoulder and ribs.
they ran across the road.
But when we entered those woods,
Sir, don't you ever prank call us again.
it was like magic.
It's not a call that would get a lot of work done.
These were the
Thanks for the
sights
prime,
and sounds
dyslexic.
I'd longed to see again. I knew I was free. I knew I got away. I knew the joy I felt from within. We were just two country boys, trying to get back to that way of life.
How you feel? It's like I shrugged a 100-pound gorilla off my back.
What? Isn't your shoulder and ankle broken?
Lights on. Fire your beds. Bill, Morgan, let's go. Get up.
Generally, on that 6:30 a.m. count, the inmates are out
Thanks
of
for
their
the
bunks,
resub, Atticus.
standing with the lights on. At that time on July 7th, the inmates were still laying in their
Thanks for the
beds.
resub, Bimbo.
And when they pulled the sheets back and discovered that there was dummies in the beds, all hell broke loose.
Call the warden. We got a break.
Oh, they called in the
I was my home now,
reinforcements.
2 hours away from Elmira. Your immediate reaction is, you know, how did that happen?
You believe this?
You've got two murders out into the public, and it's on your watch. This is the worst case scenario that you can have happen.
No, there's certainly a lot worse. You could have 3 murderers get out and a rapist.
Immediately locked down a facility.
I can immediately think of worse scenarios.
Then you have
a person could go up in flames and all the murderers and rapists escape.
To go out and escape pursuit.
Everything can be shut down. I can get you as many men as you want.
At the same time, you're notifying state police, the local sheriff, the local law enforcement.
Gentlemen, my responsibility is to get to the scene and open up a command post.
God damn, they called in Gary Ferg.
Ooh,
baby, that gets serious quick.
Escapees, both murderers. When an escapee breaks out, they need transportation, they need food, a report of a stolen car, burglary within the area. Those are the things that we look for.
Yeah, I was starting to believe that this was all made up, but once you bring Gary Ferguson into the equation,
This is my office.
and I know it's real.
Let's remember that Vale not only murdered a woman, but raped her.
Jesus.
And she was 8 months pregnant.
Please don't hurt me.
Not only did he kill her, but he killed her unborn child.
Holy fuck.
In my mind, that's about as bad as it gets.
Yeah, that's definitely up there.
Within hours,
No doubt about
we
that.
had several hundred correction officers, law enforcement, state police in pursuit of Morgan and Vale. Their
Next stream, you should do a
responsibility is
watch
to
along of the
use
first season of
force that's
Titan.
necessary.
Can't do that.
You
I can
really
only
don't
do
wanna
what's
kill the
publicly
inmates,
available
but
on
if you have to
YouTube.
kill the inmates, you'll kill the inmates.
Thanks for the
Took
resub,
all my
Autopops.
effort to keep going.
Why
I
the
was
fuck
dealing
would the
with
guards
pain,
be
fatigue,
friendly with this
and trying
guy
to
then?
move broken bones.
A murdering rapist and they're just fucking high-fiving him, giving him free passes through the metal detector? Why?
My whole thought process was getting messed up.
Will it hurt baby top of his head?
What the fuck does that mean?
Then, we heard the chopper way off in the distance.
Can't even parse that.
You see
Thanks for the resub, Pardo.
We had to find cover, because I knew they'd be out searching all day, and I needed to rest real bad.
We didn't have any information in the first
Oh, it was
6
a
or 7
joke?
hours. We had none. That was the scary part.
Oh, I see it now that I read it. The TTS, I didn't get it. It's fucked up, man.
At 1:30 in the afternoon, we did get a call from a truck driver in the Rochester area.
I was driving on I-86
Thanks to the
this
Prime
morning,
Penguin.
and I saw 2 white males. One of them needed help across the road. He looked pretty injured.
That was a home run. We're very confident that these were our guys and that they were in them woods.
Right here, Highway 17 at Elmira Heights.
Eagle 1 heading towards Elmira Heights.
Well, I guess I was wrong. I didn't think anyone would take that kind of
Found an
call
empty trailer
seriously.
where I could lay up for a while. I didn't have the proper stuff I needed just to stay hydrated, let alone treat my injuries. I was played out. Tim was pretty wasted too.
What has Tim done? Tim's had it relatively easy, all things
Prisoners
considered.
who escaped from the Elmira Correctional Facility.
The next morning, the chopper was out bright and early.
Tim! He's a helicopter. It's gotta be the cops.
Suddenly I'm thinking, this is it, they found us. When the chopper flew off, man, we put everything into fast forward.
I think he's leaving.
Tim should really just abandon
Down
this
this little
guy.
hill into these heavy bushes along the creek bank.
Thanks to the Prime, disappointing.
Pain was just shooting through my body. We needed to find some transport. We followed the creek back towards town, maybe 10 miles at my pace.
Thanks to the Prime Supernova. In all 4 prison breaks now, the escapees always go to like woods and remote places. But I feel like I'd argue that's the wrong approach. Because that's the first place you think they would go, you know what I mean? Like, okay, they escaped, they're definitely going to the woods, right? Why not throw them for a loop and really catch them off guard and go to somewhere they'd never expect you, like a library? Like, you break out and you're like, where the fuck do they think I wouldn't go?
The van got stolen.
GameStop. Just hide out at GameStop or something. I mean, who's gonna question that?
But right away, I asked myself, why? How long before this whole area is crawling with cops?
It was about 7 o'clock on the second day. I was on my way home.
Stolen white van reported on Lake Road. Suspects are 2 white males, matching the description of fugitives Vale and Morgan.
So I started heading that way.
Well, what the fuck is Gary Ferg doing right now? Calling the Men in Black?
Sure enough. There's the van sitting at the red light. I was kind of shocked.
I am in pursuit of a white stolen van headed northbound on Main Street, over.
Ooh, baby.
I followed the van, basically waiting for the cavalry to arrive.
We're about 2 blocks away.
Gary Ferguson's flying that helicopter himself.
Go over the radio, and I immediately thought, this is it. We just started heading towards that location. Everyone wants to be the one that catches them.
You see something? Yeah. It's cops, not my car.
It didn't matter which way we went. We just kept collecting more cops the further we traveled.
Yep, those stars are accumulating fast.
They have weapons. You know that they're escaped murderers, so they're in prison for life. They've got nothing to lose.
Tim and I were real scared. I didn't doubt we'd get shot by making the wrong move.
They turn right on Margaret Avenue.
Then we came round a bend. There was a police car coming towards us.
Oh, baby. That's game over right there.
There's that moment where you're not sure if they're going to ram into our vehicle or try to go through somebody's yard to get away from us.
Yeah, it's a really bold strategy to just throw yourself there as a meat
your
shield.
Adrenaline and your training takes over.
Get down!
I don't even remember drawing my gun.
Yeah, I'm sure Jamie has a real chance at getting away.
I was pretty pumped up.
Hands where I can see them or I'll shoot you!
I couldn't see his hand. I immediately thought he might have had a weapon. I yelled at him.
Get your hands out of your shirt!
My shoulder's busted, I can't show you my hand!
I don't care! Get down on the ground!
I couldn't raise my arm to surrender. In a flash, everything could have exploded.
Can't!
You want to wrap him up as quickly as possible before he has an opportunity to act.
I hope Gary Ferguson's still in that helicopter. He's got an RPG and just fucking nukes him. Just some high action shit.
Planning just to run into him as hard as I could.
Down on the ground, right now!
And I'm yelling at him, I don't care about your shoulder, get on the ground.
Get your hands where I can see them!
You know, I was probably pretty close to shooting him.
Get down on the ground!
It's a good tackle.
It took 17 weeks to dig our escape hole. To go through all that, and it ends in failure after less than 3 days?
That's embarrassing, right?
I just thought, shoot me. I welcomed the idea. If it meant not going back to prison. There's no life there.
Yeah, that's the
Only
point.
Existence.
Yeah, it's kind of the idea
of that nobody in the community was hurt. You know, those 2 people had hurt enough people in this world.
Oh, good lord. Deserved. Yeah, that sounds
The key
about right.
factor in this incident was when Vale fell. If he didn't get hurt, he could have got outside our perimeter. That is a nightmare.
I was transferred to Clinton to do my solitary. Some guys in prison think I'm a hero
Wait,
for what I did.
Was his total sentence 10
I
years?
consider myself a failure.
That's curious.
I spent 23 hours a day in a cell with only the basic essentials.
Was it for life? Okay.
It's a struggle to keep from just screaming and letting myself go crazy.
Oh, I'm sorry I didn't see it, Justin. That's a cute spin on it. I think that'd be a superstar magic trick. And now we switch it up with some Breaking the Magician's Code. Today, the Masked Magician will show you how to break out of prison effectively.
Don't want you to see. The Masked Magician is back, out of hiding, daring to expose the world's most highly guarded secrets. You'll find out how they perform amazing appearances, death-defying escapes, baffling levitations, astounding vanishes, mind-blowing sleight of hand.
Ooh, the toothpick one again.
Illusions.
The toothpick's my favorite.
No magician is too famous. No trick too big. No secret too sacred.
Fuck you, asshole. Were you like an aspiring magician and the Masked Magician ruined your up-and-coming career at the birthday parties? He just wanted to be a superstar on TV, man. Don't get mad at him. You do the same thing. That's why you're doing magic.
Tonight, the Masked Magician
Thanks for the
pulls
resub,
back
Max
the
Dad.
curtain and exposes the secrets to enduring an encounter with a razor-sharp guillotine.
A timeless
Houdini's
classic.
death-defying milk can escape,
Thanks for the resub, Chris.
causing a beautiful woman to appear and disappear at will. Surviving strangulation by a steel chain.
Oh god, he does it all!
Commanding a stage
Every
full of
trick I've ever
sexy
wanted to
dancers
know, right at my
vanish
fingertips.
In the blink of an eye. Plus, the truth behind how a man can levitate.
Thanks for the resub,
stories
Orin.
above the ground. And much more. Right now on Magic's biggest secrets finally revealed.
So many green screens? That's not true. We only saw one trick last time that used TV tricks.
Killers, lawbreakers, and the wives
Other
of
ones
kings.
used needlessly complicated
The guillotine gained
machines.
its gruesome infamy during the French Revolution. But that's enough of a history lesson. Tonight, the magician hopes to survive before he's history. He examines the execution device with its razor-sharp blade, which is designed to cleanly sever the head from an unfortunate body. To ensure a clean cut, the neck of the
Thanks for
victim
the
is held
resub,
in
Joel
place
Trick.
by this heavy wooden stock. Anyone who would get into a device like this voluntarily has to have confidence in
Okay,
his powers
call me
of escape.
conservative. Thanks for clarifying. I'm going to bed because I don't like this stuff.
If this
Got
is
it.
going to be his swan song,
If you don't like it, I can turn it off, of course.
the magician climbs up onto the table and bends
I
down
always
as the
loved that
assistants
shit.
raise the
Charlie,
stock.
I hate this and I'm leaving now. Well, just get the fuck out. Why do you have to tell me? Just leave. I want to watch it.
Trapped between the wooden planks.
Goddamn 9-year-olds.
Meanwhile, another assistant
Mommy, this
secures
isn't
his
the
legs
dessert
to
I
the table
wanted.
with thick leather straps. The straps will hold the magician in place in case he has a last-minute change of heart. It will also prevent his body from flying off the table in the event the blade hits its target.
I already know how he
Of
does
course,
this
all of
one.
these restraints will make his escape near impossible, and that much more dangerous.
I have a sneaking suspicion.
Remember, a magician is a world-class professional.
He's
Don't
using one of the
try any
dummies that the
dangerous
prisoners made.
solutions at home.
This was very
With the
convincing
wooden
this time
stocks
around.
in place and the leather straps cinched tightly around his body, it's time for the magician to begin his escape. That deadly blade is looming just a few feet from his neck. So why isn't he struggling to escape? Maybe he has a death wish after all.
Thanks for the resub, Misfire.
Let's watch. It's now or never.
Oh god!
Get out! That wasn't supposed to happen. This is getting more grisly by the second.
I hope she tongue fucks it. She puts it on her vagina for cunnilingus.
As the assistants cover his lifeless body with a sheet, one of the girls places his lifeless head on the table.
On his own ass.
Maybe it's not so lifeless after all.
Sweet Jesus Christ. The devil's
Now, here are
magic.
the secrets. The blade is real, and therefore makes this trick very dangerous to perform. The timing is crucial and means the difference between life and death.
I don't think so. This looks
Straps
easy.
are real too, and the magician never leaves the table. What about the head? Well, that's the magician's real head we see falling into the basket. But how does he keep from losing his head while performing this trick? Let's start with the blade.
I'm going to take a guess. His head is at like his chest level. The head is a dummy. When they put the head on the table, there's a hole in it, and then there's a double that just puts his eyes in it.
But if that's really his head falling into the basket, how does he create the illusion? The magician's
I don't know. That's my guess, at least.
Drop down through this rubber collar that is painted to look like wood.
I was wrong.
It snaps closed again once his neck has passed through. Watch again in slow motion as his neck passes through the rubber collar and then snaps closed. And
I wouldn't have guessed that. That's super fucking dumb.
From behind, we see this small board that is held up by the magician's neck. When he drops down, the board falls down too, creating the illusion that the blade is visible from behind the hole. From the front,
my God,
it appears as though the blade has separated his head from his body.
It's fucking revolutionary.
It is rigged with a secret trap door that springs open with the action of the blade. Behind the blade is a metal rod. This rod continues to fall after the blade stops, triggering a switch on the table that releases the trap door. When this trap is released, the magician's torso falls down into the basket.
See, this is a trick I can probably perform, but I wouldn't use a real guillotine blade.
Hidden inside his jacket is a rigid body cast that simulates his back and shoulders. This shell creates the illusion of his body on the bench. Here's what it looks like without the jacket in place. But with the jacket on, it appears that his body never moves. But if his head isn't severed, what does the assistant take out
Something
of the
I
basket?
always wonder about, how in the fuck, or why in the fuck did anyone even come up with a trick like this? Even watching it, it's not that impressive, it's just like a simple golf clap. It's not like shock and awe or anything, it's not the 30s anymore.
After the magician drops down into
Thanks,
the basket,
Muffin.
the
And
assistant
thanks for the
simply
resub,
reaches
D-Ball.
down around him and picks up the fake head and scarf and shows them to the audience. But how does this fake head magically come back to life?
Because there's a man in the
Of course
box.
It doesn't.
The blade
don't
is
know
real,
is
the
that the
straps
magician
are
has an
real, ye
exact
head is real,
double.
oh god, he's really dead, this
Well,
isn't part of the trick.
Almost exact.
Mm-hmm.
At least the mask is the same. Not only does the table have a trap door for the magician, it also has another secret.
A small door built
Beneath
to
the
accommodate a
table is concealed
9-year-old.
hiding place for the double. She climbs in and waits patiently for her cue.
Thanks for the prime,
She's
Tyler.
hidden from the audience by this mirror which reflects the floor beneath the table. Above, the table is equipped
Thanks for the
with
resub,
flexible
Willingen Way.
slats in the otherwise solid top. The rubber slats allow the double to pop her head up through the table.
What do you mean it's me? I'm significantly taller than that. I am... No, I'm average female height, but you know... Point still stands, she looks short as fuck.
The assistant appears to place
I
the
wouldn't
head
fit
on
in
the
that door.
bench.
That much is for
Actually,
sure.
She's walking away with it. With the slats disguised by the red scarf, all that's left for the double to do is open her eyes and give the audience the shock of their lives. And that's the secret to not losing your head. And now the magician has a little bit of sleight of hand using nothing more than a glass top table.
Ooh, I know this trick.
Penny. Take a good look at the penny. In fact, never take your eyes off of it. He taps the glass from underneath to prove that it's solid. We could already see that. Next, he taps the top and leaves the penny on the center of the table. With one palm directly below the glass, the magician covers the penny with his other hand. Now, watch for the magic. His top hand is removed, and we can see that the penny has melted through the glass and is now on his palm. It's not an illusion. It's definitely on the other side of the glass. A cheap trick with a penny that completely baffles the mind.
I wonder, would it? If I performed this for someone, would they just fucking fall over in awe?
Underneath on his open palm. You know there has to be a simple explanation. Here are the secrets. First, there are two pennies.
There always
And
is.
they're not even real.
What?
They're made of steel. Before the trick
So?
begins, the magician palms one of the fake
Who
coins
gives a
in his left
fuck?
hand. He places the other coin
They're
on the
made of
solid
cheap
glass
copper
table.
from China.
The next secret involves the ring on his right hand.
Oh, it's a fucking magnet again.
This ring holds a super strong magnet that is concealed beneath his fingers. That's why the fake pennies are made of steel. they're attracted to the magnet.
God damn it, that's so
When
stupid.
he holds the secretly palmed steel coin beneath the glass, he covers it with the magnet.
Oh yeah,
which
I
is
don't even know what would
powerful
happen
enough
to
to attract
Google.
the steel through the glass.
Fucking Armageddon.
Now that the palmed coin is hidden from view, all he has to do is slide it forward so that it's directly above his open palm. When he lifts his top hand away, the coin that's below the glass drops into his palm. At the same time, the steel coin on top of the table...
Well, as far as magic tricks go,
take a penny,
that's about as good as it gets.
and that's how he makes it look like the coin passes through the solid glass.
Up next, the magician.
But how does the masked magician ruin a keg at a frat party? By climbing in.
The shocking truth behind levitating 3 stories above the ground. Plus making gorgeous women appear.
That's easy, you just tell them you're a streamer.
Next, the magician has an illusion that's
Fuck, I
been
gotta pee real
baffling
bad.
audiences
I'll be right
for
back.
decades.
Here's some Spider-Man.
Right. Let's go over them again. Spidey crouch.
Spidey crouch.
Sling stance.
Sling stance.
Battle ready.
Battle ready.
Great job, guys. You're ready to move on. Remember, guys, fighting should always be the last resort. So before I teach you the Spidey strikes, let's learn some defensive moves. Take your battle-ready position.
Ready.
Now I get my Spidey spring from my legs. That's what helps me hop around and avoid the boulders, trains, and buses that are often hurled in my direction. Bad guys have this thing about throwing buses. I'll never understand that. Anyways, strong legs are key, so let's practice jumping. Ready?
Ready.
Jump. Good. You at home, see how high you can get. Jump. Jump. Wow, that's some serious Spidey spring. Battle ready.
Ready.
Okay, sometimes there's not enough time to spring out of the way. You'll need to duck. When I say duck, drop into your Spidey crouch as fast as you can. Duck. Good. Duck. Duck. You guys are quick. Jump. All right, now sometimes jumping and ducking aren't enough. You'll have to block the relentless onslaught. You do that by swinging your arms out like this and this. I call this the cross block. You guys try it. Start in the battle-ready position.
Ready.
You take your arms and cross them over like this. Then bring them down, turn them over, and cross to the other side like this. The cross block. Ready?
Ready.
Cross block.
Don't worry, pussies, I'm back in the helm.
Cross block. Cross block.
Let's see if it will fool cultured, contemporary eyes. Sitting atop 4 legs is a fancy cabinet.
Thanks for the
with a
resub,
curtain across
Scranton.
the front. When
Thanks,
the curtain
man.
is opened, we can see that it appears empty.
But there is a woman sitting behind the box.
As we take a look around to the other side, we
Fuck.
see that the back is also covered by a curtain. With both of them pulled open, we can see straight through
There's
the
a
cabinet.
woman hiding under the box.
Aside from the magician, there's nothing inside. Knowing how magic works, we can assume that this is only a temporary condition. Right on cue, 2 of his lovely assistants enter to lend a hand and, as always, some
Mirror?
eye candy. This guy sure knows how to peck 'em.
I guess, yeah, there could be a mirror on the bottom of it, and she's hiding under there and then just pops into the box. I don't think so, though. We haven't seen them use a mirror
Curtains are
yet.
drawn, and the magician cues the assistants
Thanks to the
take
resub,
box
Sumo
for a
and
little
Wild
spin on
Times.
the floor.
But you never know with the masked magician.
This is usually when the magic happens. The front curtain is opened up, and yep, I was right. a bouquet
They didn't
of
just
flowers.
use a mirror. What are you talking about? With the guillotine?
Not the most elaborate bouquet.
And then the other one before that was a penny and a
Then the
magnet.
delivery was pretty fast. But the magician isn't
Thanks for the
satisfied with
resub,
that, so he puts
Kawhi
them back in
Lexi.
the box. The curtain is drawn, and he gives the signal for the girls to rotate the box again.
Give them the signal for the motorboat trick. Thanks, Freem Kawhi.
It's time to open the curtain again to see what's up next. And look at this.
Wow.
Another beautiful girl.
My goodness. And for his next trick, he will reveal that she's only 14 years old. And half the audience is going to jail.
If he gave her some roses. The curtain is drawn once again, depriving us of the view of the girl inside. The assistants go back into the routine while the magician makes his patented hand gestures. Let's see what's going to happen this time.
She's been replaced by a 90-year-old woman.
There's the bouquet. Not exactly a great trick. Maybe she didn't like them after all. Let's take a look behind the curtain.
It's my mother in there or something crazy.
Without a trace. Perhaps he should have sprung for the roses. Or maybe even a ring.
I think there is a mirror involved. It
Well,
looks
he
like
still
there's a
has the
mirror
other
in the
two, and that
back.
seems like more than enough for him to handle. Okay, let's recap. We saw that there was nothing in the cabinet at the start of the trick. After the required spin by the
Let's
assistants,
see.
the flowers appeared. Another spin, then the beautiful girl appeared. After the final spin, when the curtains were opened, she was nowhere to be found. So how did the magician create this complex illusion? The secret is in the cabinet.
As it
There are
all.
some hidden
Wow, I
panels
didn't expect
concealing
that at all.
Before the trick begins, the girl folds up the side panel.
It's always even stupider than you can fucking
She
imagine.
covers her legs with the floor panel and flips down the side panel so she can't be seen. As we
Ah,
can see,
naturally.
the curtain hides the fact that the right side of the box is much wider than it appears, giving the girl room to hide. When the curtain is closed the first time, the girl flips
The
over
fucking
side panel and
boxes
deposits
here are
the
like
flowers.
origami.
With the curtain opened, you can see how it works. The magician opens the curtain and finds that the flowers have appeared, as if by magic.
You perform this
When
trick the
assistants
same
are
way?
spinning the box the
Is
second
this
time,
like a box
the
you
girl
can buy
inside the
off like
cabinet is opening
Craigslist or
both
something,
panels
or
and
did
climbing
you make
into
it?
place while the team outside is drawing our attention. This is where a small, flexible assistant comes in handy. She's only got a few seconds to get settled before her appearance. Let's watch with the curtain opened. She's got to be
Okay, so
very
you built the
agile
one?
and very fast. She also
That's
can't
cute.
be claustrophobic. As we can see, there's barely enough space for the panel to flip down and clear her lovely legs.
Ah.
She gets into a seductive pose just in time for the magician to open the curtain. There she is.
You
During
know,
the final turn, she reverses the
like I've been
process
saying
and
this whole
climbs back
time,
into her secret
I
compartment.
guess in this day and age, is magic even impressive,
here,
like magic
she's
tricks?
able to reach down
It's
and
cool
hand
when
the
you're
flowers
drunk
to
at
the
college
magician,
parties, or at least I
creating the
convinced
illusion
myself
that
it
she's
was,
still
but
in the cabinet. With the
are
back
these like
curtain
grand
open,
tricks
you can
impressive?
see how she flips up the side panel and reaches out with the flowers in her hand. Once he takes
I'm
them,
curious. Let's see if we can find. I'll come back in a second, but I want to see. Is there any like modern magic tricks that'll make me go wowee? Let's type in magic. I really don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I thought for even a single fucking iota of a second that would turn up what I'm looking for. Ah, that's a really good quick one. Shin Lin's. Okay, I know that one. Or Shin Lim, right? Or is it Lin? I don't know. Shin Lim's Penn and Teller thing is pretty fucking cool. Never mind. There definitely still is magic tricks that make you go wow and then slap your girlfriend or whatever. I take it back immediately. But that's not like a grand trick though. That's still card magic at the end of the day. Thanks for the 200 bits, Spooky. Show us. I'm sure almost everyone here has seen this. This is like one of the most popular magic routines of all time. Is there any other ones? Show? Jesus Christ, fine. I've seen it like 3 times over the last 4 years because it gets posted on Reddit so often.
My name is Shen Lim. I live in Boston, Massachusetts. I originally went to college for piano performance. Unfortunately, midway through, I got carpal tunnel on both hands, and because of that, I just decided to pursue magic.
That means he was chosen by God for magic.
I think all the years
That's what carpal tunnel means.
piano and learning music theory
Thanks for the
really
Prime Chaos.
influenced my magic in a sense that I naturally was able to synchronize my magic to the music. So every beat, every movement is justified through the music.
Like that shit, I think card magic is always going to be cool though.
Gives a more mysterious look.
But like the grand tricks of making things appear and disappear is just kind of lame.
Take magic seriously and respect the art.
We've already asked 2 randomly selected members of our audience to join our next performer on stage in advance. Now prepare yourself to experience the magic of Shin Lim.
Oh, this is probably gonna get my whole fucking stream DMCA'd because they used the Inception song. It's a risk I'm willing to take for the magic. Thanks for the resub, Rubber. No, the music is super important to the trick. Without it, the magic just doesn't exist. Some say the most magical element to this trick is the Hans Zimmer. Now, full disclosure, I know how he does this. Thanks for the Prime Mako. That is the only trick I know that I know how he does it. And then this is where the magic gets really wild. Both girls get simultaneously wet in just a simple motion. That's so fucking cute, man. See how, like, horny these girls look like they're getting? This is what I wanted when I was being a magician in college. But all I ever got was, like, idle stares, disappointment, restraining orders, just negative stuff, reactions. I wanted to be Milky Squeeze. Not anymore. I wasn't given the gift of carpal tunnel to pursue magic after piano. Just even the card twirling is cool to me. This is where shit gets wild. This is when I soil my britches. Do it, Shin. I'm ready. Oh, there it is. Thanks to the Prime, homie. Look at that confidence. This one I tried really hard to figure out, but I couldn't do it. Now, obviously, what I know is he palmed the card initially, but I don't know how he switched it. Thanks for the Prime Shadow Gemstone. God, see, like, that shit is so fucking cool. But just the traditional magic tricks, I think, just kind of suck ass. Card magic is just always cool. Imagine getting a rim job from him. He's pulling cards out of your butthole with his mouth, blowing smoke into it. All of a sudden, you're puking out a whole deck of cards that is signed by him.
Big fan of your stream. If you want to see another good act, watch Ryan Hayashi's performance on Penn and Teller if you haven't seen it.
I've probably seen it. I'll look it up though. I'm in the magic mood now. Big finish. And needless to say, it fooled Penn and Teller.
The Agonizer 9000 arena and burn him to a crisp.
Yeah, so I know how I did a couple of them, but the one that always fucked my ass real good is this. I never could figure this out. Where does it start? See, he definitely palms the card right there. I get that. So the card never leaves there. He puts it behind his hand there. But I don't understand how he still has it here. Nor how he does that and switches it to a blank card. Card's behind his hand. I just don't get that. Paid actors? I don't think so, though. Because the dude sold this trick. Like, you can buy this trick and learn it, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to see if I could figure it out. This is back when I cared about magic. And I really don't think it's paid actors or anything. It'd have to be 2 cards, right? I just don't see how you could get the same card both times, because she did genuinely sign it. And to have it be an exact replica, that'd be really fucking hard. Like, you can never make your signature exactly the same twice, let alone on a card like that, I doubt. But even still. Very cool routine. And then you go back to shit like this where the secret is, well, the box folds into 6 different positions, and a woman contorts herself behind it. See, this is lame as fuck.
It appears that she has completely vanished. And that's how the magician makes a girl appear and disappear.
Let me see. What was the Ryan Hayashi thing?
Have you ever watched anything by the British illusionist Darren Brown?
Probably
he just is very upfront about using psychological tricks and shit.
Oh, this is this guy. This is the guy who does the card matrix, right? Or coin matrix.
Been a fan of yours for over 3 years. Love you, Charlie. Thank you for the great content. Smile.
Well, thanks for the kind words, Dexter. I do know this. Yeah, I know this. I've seen it. I'll play it. Again, using my trained magician's eye, I know how he does quite a few of these moves.
Yeah. When I was a kid in the 1980s, I saw Penn and Teller on television performing an act with just a pencil
and I almost
and a
puked.
cigarette.
It was so bad.
This act fooled me and taught me the basics of magic. So Penn,
I'm just kidding. I like Penn and
I now
Teller.
present to you what you inspired in me 30 years ago.
Thanks for the resub, Riddler.
I'm going to hurt your brain using these 4 cards and 4 coins in an original routine I call the Ultimate Matrix. In just a moment,
Sounds
these
like an
coins are going to
anime move.
magically appear and disappear, changing their positions around this square, traveling from their corners
Okay, I have to
all
turn off
come
that,
together,
or else it blocks it.
gathering here in this corner and landing underneath this square.
Thanks for the resub,
And
you
if
know.
I can create the illusion that those coins move without me using my hands, well then, I might just fool you.
See, tricks like this I think are cool. Just everything else kind of sucks. Like, in-your-face shit like this is always cool.
A card over each coin. Watch closely because this does happen very fast. Heisho! And I just did it. Was that too fast for you? Not a problem. Everybody, do not blink your eyes. And I'll just do it one more time.
Ryan, my panties are sodden.
So you can actually see the coins traveling one at a time. I'll start here openly so you can see everything.
Now, just as a spoiler, the main move is he picks up the coin with the card most times.
Watch the next one.
Obviously. I don't know why I'm trying to ruin Christmas, but that's typically how it's
See
done.
the last one disappear from my fingertips. Watch this last coin vanish.
It's just he's really fast and really good at it.
In the force, as 100,000 children watching this suddenly decide that magic is cool.
Agreed.
The viewers at home may Google me now.
Thanks for the resub, Lampy Lamp.
This time visibly, so you
I wonder if the
actually
masked
see
magician
each
could even
coin
teach
jump.
this.
This is
Does
the
your
part that
tree
hits people
video
hard.
have
All I
anything to
have
do with
is
Andrew
make the
being
mysterious
demonetized and
Asian
you're testing to
sounds.
see if you get claimed for it?
That wasn't the plan. I made that a couple days ago. He has a coin in his hand and he placed it in the back of the card.
I can't
That's
afford
just
to
gonna
tip
be
you,
it.
but
Yep.
wanted to
Bang.
kindly suggest with lots of love that you suck a massive chode.
Oh, thanks, Vic. Appreciate it, man.
Vanishes here, reappears in the corner, and I'm in beast mode.
I could do it much slower and much
That's what it
sloppier.
looks like using 4 cards for cover. This time, no cards, just my bare hands and a dose of honesty. I've been performing magic since I was 8 years old, and it took me 12 years to create this act. So for me, this is not just a magic trick. This is something far deeper and 1,000 times more savage. A work of terrifying beauty that has been growing all my life. Like
I'm
an
pretty sure he drops it
uncontrollable
behind the
weed
board.
in the garden of my mind.
That's the
I've
only
crossed
thing that makes
oceans
sense.
of time and vast empires to be here today. So I take the honor of performing here very seriously. The amount of mental energy I've invested
He
in
just
creating
dropped the
this
coin.
act
Yeah, that's
could
definitely it.
demolish planets. This
For
is the
sure.
most
I don't need the
epic
masked
monologue in
magician.
the
I'm
history
on
of
to him.
magic, For I am here to inflict psychological damage. And that means we're not done yet.
He sounds like a Metal Gear Solid boss. He's got a cool voice.
You've now seen the devastation I can generate using 2 hands. Let's take this to the next level. I'll do it again with just 1 hand. You can ask any magician around the world about performing an illusion this clean using just 1 hand, and they will tell you that it is physically impossible. And it looks like this. Booyah. Watch the next one. I get nowhere near those coins with my hand, and still vanishes from here, reappears in the corner, and I am the Jackie Chan of magic.
He has a coin in his hand right now. He's placing it on the back of that card. It's in the
Will invisibly fly
right
from
there.
here to there, forming a
He's gonna place this card down right here, I bet.
3.
Shit!
Get ready for this.
Damn
Seen
it!
all. Nosebleeds.
Immediately wrong.
There's 1. There's 2. That's 3.
Fuck.
And as promised, I can now actually show you a perfect.
Damn it, Ryan! You've outsmarted me.
2, 3, and 4 coins with just 1 hand. You would not believe how epic this feels. My heart is pounding, and I can feel the adrenaline pulsing through my veins.
No, you were right.
Each and every one of you for sharing this
Well, I mean, he
moment
put
with me,
this coin
because
behind
just
that
being
card,
here
I know that
was a
much.
dream come true.
But I really
So
thought
for
he was going to
everyone
place it
watching,
over
if you
here.
have a dream, never give up believing in your dream, living your dream, and doing something every day to make that dream happen. But remember one thing, no matter who you are, no matter how hard you work, or how good you think you are at what you do, there will always be an Asian who takes it to the next level.
God, that's just so crisp. Fuck yeah. See, that shit's cool. You go from that to, take a look at this box.
While making her do all the work.
There's 6 trap doors in this box where I can hide very small women.
Here's a simple trick that's very effective.
Real magic now.
The magician begins by showing us a length of ordinary string.
Ah. This is what magic is like when it's pushed to its full capacity.
He feeds the string into the straw.
This is what magic has always been building up to.
Demonstrates that it really goes in one side.
The stringy straw trick. Stumped even the greatest of minds.
He bends the straw in the center and tells us to watch closely, as if we had anything better to do. He picks up a sharp hobby knife and very carefully he cuts through the straw.
Don't do it.
And the string.
Oh no! It'll never get repaired now.
The straw to prove that the slice has gone all the way through. Uh-oh, here comes the magical waves. Something's gonna happen. He lays one straw on top of the other and pulls the string. Miraculously, it comes out in one long piece, just like it started. The straws go bye-bye.
See, that's the magic we need
This guy
more
has
of.
never even done magic ever before. He's just some schmuck with a mask.
Yeah, the guy wasn't a very popular magician. He did reveal himself at the end.
What are the secrets to pulling off?
At least I
the
don't
twister of
remember
cutting
if he
through
was
the
a very
straws and string,
popular
and revealing
magician.
The string as good as new. You're about to find out. The straw is real. So is the knife. Before the trick begins,
I have started my own monkey nut collection in classic. Wow.
Really?
I own 6% of the global supply of Earthroot. Where has
See?
Hook Knight
You
gone?
can open the straw
That's
and show
fucking
it
awesome,
inside,
Select.
But he never lets the audience see this. The slit is the first secret. The magician feeds the string into the straw. Yes, it's really going inside. He bends the straw in half.
I think it'd be kind of cool to try these in real life and see if anyone gives a fuck.
It pops out through the slit and will be concealed by his
I learned this from the Masked Magician. Let's see what women these college campuses think of it. Hey, what's up, ho? Do you want to see a magic trick with a straw and some string?
Now, he takes the
What do you
knife,
mean, no?
cuts through the straw and presumably the string. In reality, the string is safe and sound below the blade. See? It is still fed through the 2 remaining ends of the straw. With his finger covering the string, it looks like 2 separate pieces hanging from inside the straw. The magician then stacks the straws, being careful not to let the middle of the string show, as it does here. He pulls the end of the string, and it easily slides out in one long
Maybe that'll be my thing. I'll go on Penn and Teller Fool Us using only the simple magic tricks that the Masked Magician has taught me and see if I fool him.
Thanks to the secret.
I'll do his whole routine with the toothpick, the magnet coins, and of course the straw and the string. That's a classic.
One of Houdini's most famous escapes will be exposed at last. Plus the secrets behind a beloved classic trick. Then find out how to make a line of sexy chorus girls disappear. And we solve the incredible mystery as to how street magicians perform amazing outdoor levitation.
I wonder how they do that one.
Now attempt to perform one of
That one's always
most
stumped
famous
me.
Escapes. The one that was once promoted with the slogan, "Failure means a drowning death. The magician displays a large milk can that's been filled with water.
Large milk can, maybe from like the 1910s.
Window, an aftermarket edition.
That looks like something they used to send into space with monkeys in it.
He's inside. His beautiful assistants remove the lid, and I think you can guess what's going to happen next.
The masked magician drowns himself.
The magician steals his courage and squeezes into the can of water. In Houdini's day, shipping milk in these large metal barrels was commonplace. So milk cans weren't out of the ordinary. However, attempting to escape from one filled with water was quite an unthinkable act.
I can't imagine why.
It's a tight fit, but he manages to fit his arms inside and force himself down. The water cascades to the floor. It's real, all right, and wet. Step back, ladies.
Nice.
The
My
magician
favorite
will take
kind
a
of
few
water.
Deep breaths before he can plunge all the way into the can. That mask isn't helping matters either. He'll test his ability by trying to hold his breath in this very intimidating can. Try to hold your breath with him.
Okay.
Assistants place the metal lid in place. There he is, behind the glass.
Is it really hard to escape? All you do is just
Remember what I said
stand
about
up,
drowning?
right?
It's important to remember that
What's
this
the
is a
trick?
world-class magician, and at no time should you attempt any of his dangerous tricks at home.
What is he doing? Like a finger
The
puppet
magician is
show?
doing a test run of his lung power, only to see how long he can last once he's really locked inside.
Oh, I see. We haven't reached
How
that
about
level
you?
yet.
Are you still holding your own?
No, you fucking idiot. I didn't play along. Thanks for the
He
prime
seems to
ace.
be doing okay, but remember, his hands will be shackled just like Houdini's were 100 years ago.
Take it easy, Tori.
It's nearly a minute now. That's about all he can take. His assistants remove the lid, and it seems like he's happy to be breathing again.
I bet this is going to be something even beyond stupid. Like the water is only in the top layer of the milk can, so the water's only here to give the illusion that he's like submerged, but underneath that, it's just pure emptiness, just air.
Holds out his wrists for a pair
Just some
of
stupid shit like that, I bet.
handcuffs. Wonder where she got those. Since Houdini was known as the handcuff king, this is only fitting.
How would that work? Well, I could definitely see how that could work. Same way they did it with the guillotine. You'd have it so it'd be like something that seals itself back up once you get down to the bottom. Granted, not a whole lot of water here, but it's just an idea. I'm really thinking out of the box.
The lid is returned to its position. And this time, the assistants secure it with heavy-duty padlocks. They'd better hurry. Even experienced divers would find it terrifying to hold their breath while handcuffed and locked inside a cold steel can. Try holding your
Thanks
breath
for the
again,
resub, Thanos.
and imagine that you've got no way out. Not so easy, is it?
So what's the game?
There we
Escape
see him
from the
struggling with the
handcuffs and then drown?
Even if he smuggled a lockpick into the can, reaching the locks on the outside would be impossible.
Thanks for the prime, Weeth.
Houdini was right. Failure could mean a drowning death. He wrestles with the cuffs for a few more seconds. Maybe he needs some privacy.
Well, I mean, he's definitely not in the
Curtain
can.
in front of the can.
He's doing the magic straw and string trick behind the curtain again.
By now, he's been locked underwater for more than a minute and hasn't made any progress. This is longer than he lasted the first time before he had to be let out. He must be starting to panic. Are you still holding your breath? It's been 90 seconds now and still no sign of him. The assistants better do something. Get him out of there. He's safe.
Well, what do you know?
I bet even Houdini didn't have a welcoming committee like this.
What do you mean? Houdini probably fucked ass, bro. Are you kidding me? Magic in that day and age, he would literally be looked at as a
How did
god.
the magician escape before drowning in the old-time milk?
Now you're just looked at as a loser for doing these kind of tricks, unfortunately.
Secrets.
Even though they are lame.
First off, the handcuffs look solid, but they've been specially rigged to pop open in an instant.
Oh.
Cuffs like these are almost always used in underwater escapes to minimize the risk of danger. When the magician first plunges into the can, he displaces a lot of water, leaving more room for air to breathe. It's a good acting job, but in reality, he has plenty of space to move freely. The first time we see him behind the glass, we're convinced that he has to hold his breath while inside the can.
Well, I was kind of
Check
right.
out the lid. The dome-shaped top allows him some extra room to reach up and take a breath whenever he needs to. While we're distracted by his hands behind the porthole, his head is safely above the waterline beneath this dome. Opening the lid to put on the handcuffs only adds more drama to the escape. The lid is locked into place with real padlocks that never get open. They don't have to.
Because the
neck of
entire
can
top...
is
Yep.
surrounded by a false collar,
I knew
held
it.
on by these rivets. The assistants remove the rivets when they attach the locks. Here we see how easily the lid and the collar are removed.
I'm a
Next,
genius.
the sheet is raised.
Now all I need is a milk
See the
can.
sheet through the glass
And I
knows that
too
it's
can
time
ascend to
make his
Houdini
escape.
levels.
He simply pushes up on the lid, and it effortlessly pops off, locks and all. All he has to do now is climb out of the can.
Thanks for the resub, Little Miss Crying Beady.
Once the magician is outside, he replaces the lid and stands next to the can, waiting to make his miraculous appearance. The girls provide the hero's welcome.
You just gave me that's a really good point, Beady. I know it's a joke, but like in the movie Glass, not to spoil anything, the guy drowns in like a literal small puddle. He could have just drank the water, right? And displaced it enough until he could breathe again, couldn't he?
A classic of magic will be exposed. And
Wouldn't
then
that work?
the
Or am I
surprising
not
truth
thinking of
behind
something?
impossible levitation.
The magician will now demonstrate another of magic's most famous tricks. He picks up a small metal pan that's solid on the bottom and all the way around.
Food for thought. I guess if anyone's ever trying to drown you in like a sink that's kind of full, you can just start drinking really fast and ruin their plan.
Presto! Some flowers
Bro,
for his
he ain't
lovely
even in
ladies.
the water toe that
But
she
how did he
fake
do
as
it?
heck. I do it all the time. He hot turn gel.
Fair, Andy. Very fair.
So how does the magician pull off the trick that's been amazing kids at birthday parties for years? Tonight, he reveals...
It's
the
just what I was looking for. I've been wanting to really
First,
impress kids
he's
at
showing
birthday
us the
parties,
back
and
of the
now I
empty
can finally
can.
do it.
He's concealing a sheet of chemically treated flash paper inside.
Oh, of course. Let me just go ahead and
This
get
is what
that
he
out of my
ignites with the
closet.
lighter to cause the fire. When he uses the lid to smother the blaze, he's actually dropping a second pan inside. This pan is slightly smaller and fits snugly in the original pan. Until it's needed, the second pan is secretly held in the lid by these metal spring clamps. The pan snaps into the lid and is held tightly by the springs until they come in contact with the outer pan. This releases the springs, and the secret inner pan drops into place. Now for the flowers. They're made of folded pieces of tissue paper and also contain strips of spring steel.
This is useless. Where am I gonna buy this?
They pop open. Before the trick begins, the magician carefully folds the flowers into the secret pan and loads it into the lid.
Awesome.
During the trick, he smothers the fire, releases the secret pan, and reveals the paper flowers. Sometimes a dove or a small rabbit is inside.
Man,
Either
imagine. I mean,
way,
try doing that at a
the secret
birthday
is the
party in
same.
this day and age. You're just gonna get booed and then Fortnite danced on by the children. Give us real tricks. At the useless.
The magician will now demonstrate
That's
an
one of the
illusion
dumbest
designed
things
to
I've heard in a
feature his
while, and I loved it.
four-leggy assistants.
I'll say it again for everyone. I said, where would I even buy those things? And someone said, at the useless store. A banger. Now we're cooking Twitch chat.
Red patent leather boots. Take one last look. The magician commands the curtain to be lowered and raised. In a split second, all four women have vanished. A big finish to the routine.
There's something fishy about that Lego wall.
Pretty impressive, masked man. Now be a sport and show us what you did with the girls.
So this guy is just the magical equivalent of Neil deGrasse Tyson then?
So how did the magician make his four lovely dancing
more or
girls
less.
vanish in an instant?
Oh, thanks for the Prime Crispy Boy. Sorry I didn't see
Secrets
that.
are something to see. First off, it involves the girls in their very stylish red leather boots. An identical set of 4 pairs of boots is concealed backstage. The back wall of the stage is built in 2 sections. When the curtain is lowered, a stagehand behind the wall released a mechanism that allows the top half to swing open. When the girls head back and appear to be walking up and across the stage,
These tricks fucking
they're
blow.
actually
Thanks for the
walking
resub,
in
some
duplicate
fat
boots
guy.
in front of the wall, while they stay behind. Sweet. From the front, it looks like the girls are simply strutting into place behind the curtain.
Of course.
Without the curtain in place, we can see how clearly the girls manipulate the fake legs. These are the boots we see just below the bottom of the curtain. So we know that the girls are behind the wall.
Thanks to the
and
Prime
fake legs are in
detated.
front. But how does he make them vanish? There's another secret to these tricky boots. They have hooks built right in. See? I wouldn't lie. A pipe is lowered from the ceiling, just as the top of the wall flips open.
What?
The girls have just enough room to hook the boots onto the pipe. By the time the curtain is being lowered, the boots are already hooked over the pipe.
This is all so needless, though. You can just pick up the boots and set them behind you, couldn't you?
The trick wall is closed, and the pipe is raised, taking the boots along for the ride. Without the curtain in place, this is what the audience would see. Not very magical.
That's such an unnecessary step.
All the magician to do is take the credit for a job well done by his assistants.
Up next,
It's meant to be
find out how
fast?
the magician escapes the
Yeah,
chains
but I
of
mean,
death.
how long does it take to pick up 2 boots and set them down? I mean, I guess you could hear that, but I imagine there'd be like the Inception soundtrack or something playing.
Something tells me this next trick is going to involve this sturdy length of chain. And lucky for us, the magician's lovely assistants.
So this is, I literally can't stop thinking about this. So in Glass, to keep using the example, Bruce Willis drowning in a little puddle. What stops him from just drinking the puddle so that way he doesn't drown in it?
His neck. Next, he wraps the chain one more time around his neck and pulls the 2 ends
No
to the
air.
front.
I don't understand. Why can't you go,
These ends he ties in
you
a
know,
knot and hands
when you're
to the 2
underwater you
ends.
can't breathe, but you can still suck
Trusting
in
guy.
water and drink it.
One more look at the knot, and the magician steadies his nerves. The girls are ready. On his command, they pull the chain, and it magically passes right through his neck. He's unharmed. The chain
The
and his
water
neck
is dirty.
are still in one piece.
Thanks to the resub daisies.
Now, here's the secret. The chain is real, and it's made of solid steel. It hasn't been prepared in any way. The key to this illusion is the manner.
I get, well, that's not it either, because you can take breaths. He was being drowned, but he kept getting like a breath and going back in. So couldn't, well, no, that wouldn't really work, would it?
It's pretty convincing. From this angle, you can see that the chain is merely wrapped to the back and looped, giving the impression that it completely circles his neck.
Yeah, I guess you couldn't
From
really
the
do that
front,
from that angle,
it
at
appears
least
as
not
though he's
efficiently.
completing the circle with a dangerous knot. Instead, he's actually doubled back the chain so that it will easily slip to the front when the assistants pull on it. Here we can see that the loop is tucked behind his jacket to keep it hidden from view. When the assistants tug the chain, They're simply releasing the loop and
Go
pulling
find
the
a
chain to
puddle
the
and
front.
try and do it yourself.
Look closely.
I'll
and
fucking
you'll see the
waterboard
chain slipping
myself
around
in the
his
sink
neck, not
tonight
through
just
it,
to see.
just like unraveling a
I don't
swing.
know. I feel like
This rear angle shows
unless
the
you're
direction
completely
of the chain
submerged,
as
which
the loop is
doesn't
pulled
really
out.
happen in those kind of scenes.
The magician and the
I
assistants
feel like
have
it
to
could
take
work.
care while performing this trick, since there is a real danger of the chain links getting tangled. If they do, this harmless illusion can quickly become a harmful strangulation. They've practiced many times, so don't try this one at home.
That's a stupid fucking trick anyway. I don't care that I wasn't paying attention. I've got bigger fish on my
Popular
mind.
extreme magicians have been making themselves float through the air as proof of their unusual freakish powers. Tonight, the masked magician joins them. He's made his way to the top of his secret warehouse and intends to demonstrate the extent of his unique abilities in broad daylight. As you can see, he's completely alone on the roof, and there are no visible wires or hydraulic lifts around to aid him in his attempt to levitate.
That's what you think.
Watch carefully, and let's see if he's as good as the street
But what he's
magicians
actually
who
doing
claim
is
they
wearing
can
a
do this
small
for real.
jetpack on his back.
Wow, he's floating off the roof. Well, it certainly looks like he's floating, but that could be an illusion. Let's watch some more. He's now hovering over the building without any visible means of support. This actually does look pretty freaky.
Yes, for a B movie.
He's floating in midair. It's effortless. Maybe he's just thinking happy, wonderful thoughts like Peter Pan. He couldn't possibly be thinking about the 3-story fall to the concrete below.
What do you keep saying creative mode for? I don't know what that means. That's a Fortnite reference, I know, but I don't get what you mean.
As we can see from the back, he's not wearing any kind of James Bond jetpack.
Damn it, there goes my hypothesis. It's a Minecraft reference? Oh, whatever.
These incredible
I don't
angles
play
show a
Minecraft,
complete
I don't
view
fucking
of
know.
the magician and the area around him. He's achieving the impossible. Watch now as he begins to float down toward the earth with nothing above and nothing below to help him accomplish this trick through devious means.
Minecraft creative mode lets you fly.
And there he is,
Ah.
safe on the ground.
It's not being a boomer to not like Minecraft.
Behind his incredible
Just
levitation.
not a game that I like.
We just saw the masked magician climb to the roof
I
of
get
his
the
secret
appeal,
warehouse,
just not my
rise
kind
up
of
and
game, I
float
guess. I don't know.
effortlessly through the air without any visible means.
If you open an empty Ziploc back in a sealed thing of water, does the water level go down?
These incredible angles show a complete view of the magician.
That's another good way of looking at it.
This feat is truly a miracle. Or is it? So how does the magician rise up off the roof and float through the sky like a superhero? The secret may come as a bit of a surprise, so I'll let you down easy. He doesn't have superpowers. He's not even in control of his own flight path. The man in charge is right here.
I knew it!
Sitting in the cab of a
It was Greg Ferguson the whole time.
Dangling from the top of this crane is a set of very thin aircraft cables, the same kind used to make Peter Pan fly on Broadway and in theaters across the country and around the world. Concealed beneath the magician's jacket is a specially designed harness that has been used on stage.
What a waste of resources. Because it doesn't even look cool, it just looks like
The
shit.
crane operator lowers the cables down to the stagehand.
What a
to
waste of a
attach them
crane.
securely to the harness.
Thanks for the resub. Ice cream and J
Once they're
Spuds.
double and triple checked, the magician is ready to fly with the greatest of ease. But why don't we see the cables suspending him in the air?
Editing.
The secret is the bright sky. Remember I said he wanted to show you his power in broad daylight, and that there were no visible wires? That's because the glare from the bright sun and sky makes the wires impossible
Thanks
for
for the gift sub,
cameras
Weeth.
and even the human eye to detect. From the proper angle, the brightness of the sky blocks the cables, making them invisible.
Yeah, but you can still see the little
You can see
marionette
that the
thing
camera
above
can
him.
Pick up the wires, shattering the illusion. While demonstrating his supposedly magical abilities, we saw the magician alter his flight pattern with nothing above or near him. The secret here involves moving the crane. In between shots of the magician,
Yeah, but if you saw this in person, you would absolutely see the crane.
allow the operator the freedom to fly
It only
the
works with a
magician in different
camera.
directions. Clever editing of the various angles makes it look like he's flying around the parking lot.
It's useless. I need a whole camera crew and a
Lowering
crane.
the magician to a soft
And I couldn't
landing.
even show my friends.
How about that? It is done with wires after all.
Next time, the masked magician returns to reveal more of magic's biggest secrets.
God, literally the lamest fucking magic of all time.
Next tonight, back with a brand
So
new
who was like
series.
the king of that? David Copperfield, right? I want to see one of his tricks. Lawsuit forces magician to... Oh. So getting sued is his big trick, eh? That's interesting. That's very interesting. Probably his best trick yet. I'm very curious on this lawsuit. Why does he have to do that? The magician took the stand after being hit with a multi-million-dollar lawsuit from a former audience member? What? Okay, I have to hear
David
more.
Copperfield taking the stand, forced to publicly reveal how he performs one of his biggest tricks after a man was injured at a show and sued.
Oh.
ABC's TJ Holmes here with the details. You got it down, TJ?
Well, George, I still don't know how they pull a rabbit out of a hat, but in this case, David Copperfield makes 13
Just tell me the
people
fucking
disappear
story.
on stage and reappear at the back of the room. Well, because a man was injured after he disappeared, we now know exactly how this trick works. And here's a hint, George. It's not magic.
Uh-oh.
The world's most famous magician forced in a courtroom to pull back the curtain on one of his most famous tricks. David Copperfield was
This must be
grilled
so
in a
embarrassing
courtroom
for him.
about what happened the night an audience member, Gavin Cox, was injured while participating in one of his illusions.
You're not responsible to him. Yes or no?
I don't think we're responsible.
Did you know that Mr. Cox was injured during your illusion?
Why did he
Cox
injure him?
says he was part of the vanishing crowd illusion, where 13 members disappear from a cage suspended above the stage, then magically reappear at the back of the audience.
Ah,
Cox
I remember
says
that
he
trick.
was rushed off the stage and slipped and fell into a dark construction zone, causing permanent brain damage.
Holy
Copperfield's
shit.
team was forced to reveal that instead of
That's
actually
quite the magic
disappearing,
trick, David
the people
Copperfield,
are
making him
actually
forget half of
rushed
his
to a
life.
different location through a series of backstage passages and hotel corridors inside the MGM Grand.
What were you doing when you went that path, that particular
Thanks for the
night?
resub, Po,
Did you
too.
run it? Did you walk it? Did you trot it? That's my question.
Fast walk.
For his part, Copperfield says he only found out Cox was hurt after he sued the magician a year after the accident.
How the fuck would you not know that he slipped and fell into
Mr.
what
Cox
construction equipment, broken glass or whatever?
And you didn't know about it.
I found out a year later when we were sued.
When it happened, you didn't know about it, correct?
Correct.
That was my question.
Mr. Cox is suing for unspecified damage. He's suing Copperfield, suing
Couple
MGM.
million, which is good. Well, that's probably what ended David Copperfield's career, if I had to take a guess. But yeah, like, look how lame this shit is. I remember even as a kid, I thought this shit was super lame.
Be raised between the
Although that's a cool little computer thing. So yeah, there's just nothing cool about that. At least I guess not anymore. David Blaine's less of a magician and more of a guy that just does weird shit to his body. I wouldn't necessarily call that a magician. Chris Angel. Yeah, I love Mind Freak. Yeah. I'll watch one more thing, then call it a night. I look like our American Dragon. Oh, Jake Long. Thanks, man. Hey, loser is best. Chris Angel guillotine. Fine, we'll finish with a Chris Angel video. Oh, I remember this one.